I've never actually performed in front of like any live people or anything. I always just record them. I
Right, right,
feel
right, right. And there's a reason to why you have never.
I'd feel self-conscious. I guess you do it once and then you I don't know feel better about it. I
So
feel real weird.
when you put them video, when you do we know them when you them videos you used to put out when you do a certain song, would that be one take now and you put it out, or is it multiple?
I mean, it's a single take usually, always, but it's not the first time I'm singing it. You know what I mean?
I got you. I got you. Okay.
I'll sing it
Okay.
multiple times and just post the best looking one, best sounding one.
Yeah. Right. 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 That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I
Well,
have,
great to see you back on YouTube as well.
yeah, man. I'm trying to get back into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a great way to start. I tell you, I actually showed that video to a few people. Only in America could
Yeah,
you get a collectible of Creep Show of the ashtray.
it's
You know,
fucking
it's
awesome, dude. It's so
it's
nice.
unbelievable. I actually I was talking to a friend tonight before I came on to you. John Perry is his name. Mondo Channelic Movies.
Yeah, I'm
And
familiar.
I was just telling them, you know what? Maybe it's just as well that I don't live in America because if I had them options, I'd be broke.
Yeah, I mean, I do spend a decent chunk of change.
It looks great though. It looks the real deal.
It's substantial, man. It's like real marble and pewter, so it's like the real
Unbelievable.
deal.
And
I
what's the
mean,
weight to it like?
the weight
Yeah.
you could use it as a murder weapon for sure. You could kill your father just like that, man. I'm terrible gauge of weight. Probably weighs I don't know, maybe between a two like 2 pounds, maybe I don't know something like that.
Wow. Right. 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 So if there was ever any doubt in your head how she could kill her father, that's kind of gone out of your head now.
Yeah, it's easy with that fucking marble ashtray, dude.
Where did you pick it up, Ben? Sorry, did you say it in the video?
I linked it in the description. It's from this company called Paragon Effects. They,
Right.
they do I guess they're sort of like these higher end prop replicas, but they got some Batman stuff, and they just are developing a Phantasm sphere. So I got on the mailing list for that.
Oh, nice, nice.
So it's gonna be like
That'd
a
be interesting to see
full
what that's like.
it's gonna be like a steel sphere with various attachments you can put in it.
Ah, very good. So you can make it your own, kind of
Yeah,
like I'm presuming it'll come with the drill, the two
right.
pints. Yeah, yeah, that'd be good. That'd be great. That would
And
be.
I think you can't really see it, but like right there is just like a plastic sphere. You can't
Yeah,
see it, but it'll be cool to have like a real
a real
sphere.
one. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. A real one to drop in your toe.
You've been spending some money on some deluxe sets. I've been noticing.
Yeah, well, it's all because of you. I've said it to you countless times. It's ever since you showed me the that Pet Cemetery release. I was actually just looking at my collection today. I was actually counting how many one-click editions I've bought since you showed me that Pet Cemetery edition, and I bought that in September of last year, and now we're in May of this year, and I have 16 one-click editions since then.
Wow, that's a
So
lot
it's
more than me, dude. I
that's
only have a handful. I only have like one, two, three, four, uh, five, six, something like six only or something.
six. I've gone crazy. I've
Yeah,
gone.
well,
It's
seven. Sorry, I
seven.
got
Yeah,
seven.
I'm obsessed with them. I'm obsessed. Now that's just one-click editions
Yeah,
from Film Arena. No, the singular XL editions you can get from them.
yeah,
I I must have picked up at least 17 of them as well.
they're great,
You
man.
know, they're just incredible. It's an incredible company. I know the Pet Cemetery edition that you showed me is Sign Museum, but it kind of just put me towards these labels. And as soon as I came across Film Arena, I was like, yeah, this is the label for me. Now this is the. I love every one of those sets they bring out.
I saw in one of your videos, some like you were responding to like asshole comments or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah.
people that are like, saying like Film Arena sucks and Mantle Lab is the best, but Film Arena is better than Mantle Lab, I think.
You know what? I think that video was just, I have to, it goes without saying that the actual response to that video was absolutely extraordinary, by the way. Like I knew I had some great people around me. I just didn't know to what extent until I put that video out.
Yeah.
But it was the Last Action Hero edition that I showed off. And there was just people coming and when they started nitpicking at simple things as spacing between letters.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Like this is getting there absolutely fucking ridiculous. So that video was that video, I'm not gonna lie, I started contemplating, I spoke to my partner Ellen about it. I pondered about whether or not to put out any more videos to do with Film Arena or anything to do with them. I noticed that whenever I do a video on them collectibles, it just seems to bring out the worst in people for some strange reason. I don't know why. I do not know why, but it brings out the worst in people.
I
It
did
does.
The Film Arena embossed alien full slip
Yeah.
video a while back, and I got some dude commented like, it's a shame that set is it like the lenticular set puts that one to shame. And I'm like, huh, that's spoken like a dude who owns a lenticular set, not this one.
Look, I've seen your edition of that, and I've been still trying to get that edition of it since you showed it to me.
Dude, I bid on eBay. They had the full embossed the Alien Covenant, and the Prometheus one as a
right.
like a bundle. And so
all the one clicks, isn't it?
It's just all the embossed versions.
Oh, okay, right.
And I bid on it, and I was like, because I wanted the Covenant and Prometheus one, and I was thinking, I bet Keith would buy this other one from me, for a fair price.
Well, I actually would have.
Yeah. So I bid, and I was like, oh man, it's kind of expensive. Should I bid a little bit more, than I think, it's like all three of them together ends up being like a chunk of money, but cheap compared to like what you could actually get them for.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it just was like just a little bit over what I sort of put as my max bid.
Fair enough.
And I feel like I could have won it, and I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, whatever, dude, fuck it.
Well, I'll tell you why I haven't bought them. Don't get me wrong, I've had opportunities. Now, the reason why I haven't bought it is because I'm convinced that someday I might be able to get the one-click editions.
Yeah.
For all of them, because I'm almost certain that the one-click edition of Alien has that version that you have of it inside that box set.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually waiting to try and get the one-clicks.
The one-clicks kind of expensive.
Yeah. The thing is, Ben, I got one of Venom recently.
Okay.
And I'm not kidding you. That box set, I'm still waiting to do a video on it, but that box set is a work of art. Yeah, it's absolutely extraordinary. There must be at least, in that box set alone, there must be at least 100 pictures of Venom, and every single picture or every single bit of artwork is different. And I never seen anything quite like it. And I seen some fella from Germany was selling that box set, and he had it down for 450. And I kept at him, and I got him down to 200.
Nice.
I did, and that's what I've said to numerous people. Persistence.
Yeah.
That's all you need. A bit of patience, a bit of persistence, and I'm hoping someday it will happen with the Alien set. Now I know the Alien one is quite expensive, but the Prometheus one was very expensive as well, and I lost out in an auction a couple of weeks ago on the Prometheus one where it actually sold for 250. Yeah. So I know someday I will get it at the right price. I'm just waiting.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I feel like ultimately I'm surprised when I look at the sold listings, like what people are actually paying for the shit. Because like I'm not surprised when I see someone who's like, here's a set for like $8,000. You're like, yeah, right, dude. Fuck you. Why even bother with posting it?
That's going back to that Alien set, the one-click Alien. The cheapest one I've seen so far is around €900.
Oh, I've seen them for a lot cheaper.
That's €900. The cheapest one I've seen so far. And even at that, I find myself laughing. I was like,
Yeah.
who's going to pay that?
That's
Nobody.
that's a bit too much.
Yeah, it's ludicrous.
Like, I think I saw one for, it was like maybe $600, which is, like 550 euro or something. I don't know what the euro
Yeah,
is
yeah.
currently, but and
Mm,
I was like, that's just kind of a lot of money to spend on movies I already own right now.
yeah.
But I mean,
I
that's cheaper than 900 euro for sure.
no. Well, look, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a fucking idiot. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Every single one of my one click editions that I bought, believe it or not, I actually got them under the retail price for what
nice.
Film Arena was selling them for. And when it comes to the Alien one, that's what I'm going to do as well. I don't care how long I have to wait, but I guarantee you that if I do get it, it will be under 300 euro. There's always people out there, Ben, on eBay that are desperate enough. They need money, and I'm just waiting for that one seller to come along, and I'll snap it up.
I mean, for me too, like if I'm a lot better at buying stuff than selling stuff. But like, um but whenever I do sell stuff, it's always like I just sell stuff for a quick sale. Like I don't need to squeeze every fucking penny out of something, especially if I
No,
bought it for like, you know, usually if I could get what I spend for it, or even like if it's like, say, I don't know, piece like a piece of gear or something, then I'll, if I can get half of the retail value, usually that's how I sort of view things.
absolutely,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah, no, no. Again, that's what I'm trying to do. I do try to get at the normal retail price, or if I can get it under it, I will.
yeah,
But I won't pay over the odds for any of these. As much as I love them, I won't pay over the odds for them. I won't.
yeah.
It can be a hard racket to get into.
That embossed alien set I got back when I got it, you could get them for like, $100 basically.
Yeah, very different now.
It's very different now. So
Yeah.
that's the other thing. You got to also like when get them while the getting's good, dude. You know.
Well, I actually had one. Some fella went onto Facebook. I was on a Facebook group, and by the way, I have a story to do with that Facebook group as well. I fucking bought a lovely one-click edition of the Joker from Film Arena.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Uh, and the one thing I loved about this one was you get 3 editions of the movie, and all 3 of them have 3 different steelbooks as well.
Yeah.
Which is it doesn't happen too often with Film Arena. Normally, it's the one steelbook in all editions,
Yeah.
but this one had 3 different ones. So I bought it from a seller. He seemed like a nice chap. He still does seem like a nice chap. But the same thing, deja vu again, just like what happened with me and you. The parcel got to Dublin. All of a sudden, it wasn't moving. So I contacted the customs. I says, "What the fuck is going on with this parcel?" They said it's going back to the seller. And I was like, "Why?" And I said, "Are we not past all of this bullshit now?" And they were kind of saying that they tried to say that he didn't put a price down for the value of the item. And I said, "Well, he absolutely did. He told me he did." So that's going back to him now. Now, I've been in contact with him. He's telling me that was around 2 weeks ago. Now he's telling me that he hasn't got it back yet. Now I don't know if would it be easy for him to say that he never got it back, and then hoping I will give up on it, and then all of a sudden he's up 200 euro, and he has a Joker edition again that he can sell off.
Well, did you use PayPal or something?
Yeah. Now here's the thing: I use PayPal. Now he wanted me to put it through, the friends and family payment, that friends and family. Now
Oh yeah.
apparently someone told me that if you use that, it'll be a lot harder to get to see, to get your money back because of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how true that is.
I don't either, but I always, if someone says that and it's like something like that, where it's like a fancy thing I'm buying, then like I will just say, whatever, dude. I'm doing a goods and services, and I'll pay the fee because fuck you.
Yeah. I should have. The only thing I will say is he did put down 150 euros worth for the insurance on it. So hopefully, maybe he just didn't get it back. So we'll wait and see. We haven't got to that point now where, we're not at that point where I'm going to turn around to him and say, "Look, yeah, I didn't get my edition. I want my money back." I'm not there yet, but I'm very close to it. I am. So I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to say when I actually send him that text message.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's tricky, dude. I mean, like, Having had this exact same experience with you, I just never got that shit back. It's just fucking gone, lost in the ether somewhere, dude.
Yeah, yeah. And the heartbreaking thing about that package is that Day Live edition was in there. I still haven't gotten that Day Live edition since.
Man.
And the way that they are going, the way that they're selling it, like they're going for fucking crazy money. I don't think I'll ever get it.
I
I
mean,
won't. Like
you'll get it.
I will look. Ben again. I know how much you can get these for, and I especially those editions. As much as I love them Sacred Bones editions, I, I couldn't spend 170, 180 euro on getting Day Live. It'd have to be at a great price. It'd have to be around 100.
Yeah.
But I can't see it. I actually went on to America's webpage on eBay, and I think the cheapest one I seen was around $220. It's and then when you factor in delivery and custom charges, it's huge.
But you know how it is. I mean, it's just like any of those one clicks, you wait around long enough and
Hopefully.
Some dude's like, oh, fucking blah, blah, blah,
Look at I'm
250 and you offer him like 120 and he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's again what's killing me is I would love to get someone selling one in Europe than get one in the States, because it is such a racket paying for customs and delivery. It's you're going to add, by customs and delivery alone, you're going to add at least 60, 70 euro onto that item. So it'll be hard to get one though. I have everything that I want. I think Day Live will be one of the hardest to get.
But you did finally get the Terrifier steelbook, right? Oh no, you didn't get the steelbook. You got the,
No, I got that. No, I actually, to tell you the truth, I actually got one better with that incredible set that Conor Gray sent to me over from America. And I'll tell you one thing, Ben. Them movies were worth the wait. Wow.
Yeah.
They were. My God. Everyone kept talking about how, they're brutal, they're disgusting and all that. But I'll tell you, there's more to them than just violence. They're definitely trying to tell a story, especially with that second movie. There's a lot more to it.
The second movie I liked because the first movie was great. It's just like a little night in the life of art, right?
Absolutely.
And they put some weird twist at the end, and you're like, ooh, they're gonna fuck it up, aren't they? In the second one, they're gonna like over explain shit. But they doubled down and just went like, well, what if we just go completely batshit crazy on this one? And like, it had like sort of these, sort of like epic tropes in it, with like the protagonist, a secret like magical weapon, and like all this stuff, like connection through a psychic father. And it was just so crazy. It felt kind of like a Fulci movie to me, like that type of narrative, dude, which I loved.
That's what I'm talking about. There's a bit more to it. You know what I mean? Now, in terms of just talking about the violence in them movies, now I've done my video on that box set. I'm putting it out next week. Now, I didn't say this in the video. Now, I was sitting there watching it. Ellen was sitting beside me. And I think I was more concerned about Ellen sitting beside me watching this than me watching it, because I can handle a lot of that stuff. Now, I have to tell you, Ellen at the end of it was okay with it as well, with the violence in it. Now, I tell you why I think we were okay with the violence in it. I still don't think it's done that convincingly. I still think they could do it a bit better. You know what I mean? You can clearly see that they're limited with their budget, but they're doing the best that they can with what they have. And
the director's doing all the practical effects too.
Oh, is he doing it himself?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. So it's like it's not they're not bad.
Yeah.
It's just not as convincing as, let's say, I don't know, if you watch a Tom Savini kind of like a Dawn of the Dead movie, or Day of the Dead in particular. Day of the Dead is just fucking horrible to look at sometimes in some certain scenes.
Great.
Where I never kind of got that from the second Terrifier movie. But having said that, now there's going to be a third Terrifier movie, and there's going to be a fourth, especially after how well that movie done in the box office. Now, if they start throwing a budget towards these movies, I can only imagine what the violence are going to be like. I
think one of the things that's great about Terrifier is it's sort of like a little grassroots labor of love with the director who's got a budget and he's doing all the practical effects himself. He's written the movie, he's directing the movie. You know, he's just like a one man show in a sense, right? So like
Absolutely.
sometimes you throw a big budget at something like that, and it doesn't make it better.
No,
You
it loses something.
Yeah.
It does, and you're right. It's when I say now, because you know as well as I do, it happens in Hollywood. If a movie's successful, its sequel will have a bigger budget. Now, when I say give them a bigger budget, maybe get them up to $1 million budget. Don't
Yeah.
don't be doing the Terrifier movie now that cost around $7 million to make.
Yeah.
Now
$100 million epic
Yeah.
Terrifier 3.
Keep them relatively low. You know what I mean?
Michael
And
Bay presents Terrifier 3.
but no, you know what? I can't think of the actress's name, but the actress in the second movie, she was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I said that. I turned around to Ellen and I was like, "That one was fun." I never thought I'd actually say that about a Terrifier movie. I never actually thought I'd be talking about someone's acting and how good it actually was. Her character in that movie was phenomenal, and I hope he's in.
Art the Clown, dude. That's a terrific performance in every film.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that goes without saying. He's fucking terrifying. He really is. He's funny, but he's a fucking scary character.
He is. I got that same set, but I got the one with like all the glasses and shit.
And you got the deluxe version.
And like the movie on VHS.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then of course the box set.
But
I recorded an unboxing of it, but it kind of sucked. I don't know if I'll put it out, but maybe I will.
Why? What was wrong with it?
I don't know. I'm out of practice, dude, talking to a camera. You know how it is. Like your first video. Remember your first video you made where you're just like, I'm alone in a room talking to this fucking camera like it's a person. It's weird, dude.
Now, I don't know if you want to know this. There's another Terrifier edition coming out. It's from a company in France called ESC Editions. And I'll send you a picture after the stream, but I have a funny feeling if I send you this picture, you're going to buy it.
I feel like I've heard about it. I have that Cinemuseum one click.
Oh my god, that's unbelievable, that edition.
And I have did I put it up myself, or is it still over here? Hold on, let me see.
And Nameless Media are bringing out a bust for this year.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the bust is based on the first movie. Is it the first movie? Yes. So do you know the gentleman that was fumigating the building in the first movie? Do you know his partner or his boss comes into it?
Yeah.
You remember his death in it? Well, that's what the bust is based on. It's based on his death.
Oh.
It is. It just shows the Terrifier kind of arch up behind him, grabbing him by the head.
Yeah.
And I think he has something to his throat, and I think that's the bust itself. It looks incredible.
Nameless, they put out a bunch of Terrifier 2 media books. Now, those are hard to get in America. Like, you can't. I think I don't know. There's like English on the site, but I don't even see them on the site. I see. I saw that they're also doing a Child's Play 2 bust. Did you see that one?
I have a comment. I have a comment next week.
It's pretty cool looking, man.
Yeah, I don't ask me what's going on, Ben. I went on to Nameless Media. I seen that bust. The release date is November.
Yeah.
For that bust. Now, I've said this to you before. I don't like paying money up front for an item that's months and months away. I don't like doing it.
Yep.
So I was kind of just talking to Ellen. I was like, I don't know what to do because there's only 500 of these busts of Child's Play, and I want one. I desperately want one. And I went on to eBay, and all of a sudden I just came across one on eBay. And I was like, oh, someone's selling this, and it's available now. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So I started scrolling through more eBay, and all of a sudden I found 3 of them. And I was like, right, if these bastards now basically pre-ordered it on Nameless Media and they're selling it themselves. But then I realized that one of the sellers were actually selling it for around €70 cheaper than what Nameless Media was selling it for. So I contacted a friend of mine that knows all about this, and he couldn't make sense of it. So I went onto YouTube. Rest assured, there was an unboxing on YouTube
Huh.
of this bus. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's not out until November. So where is everyone getting these buses from? So I fucking bought it on eBay I got it for €160. And that's
Okay.
including the shipping. I did. So, and to get it on Nameless Media, I think it was around €220. And that wasn't including the shipping either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I have it coming hopefully next week. And I can't wait to get my hands on it. They actually done a lovely bust of Michael Myers as well. For the only thing that's stopping me from buying it's for Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie movie.
Oh yeah, that's a shame that they picked that one.
So I'm kind of convincing myself that I kind of said it to Ellen today. I was like, I'm trying to convince myself that we'll just pretend it's the Rick Rosenthal Halloween movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's say it's that one,
Can you imagine if Name was like, oh, dude, we're doing this awesome, amazing edition. It's a Halloween bust, and it's Corey from Halloween Kills. Can you imagine that? Just a picture of his fucking dumbass face going like, "Ugh."
How did you find that movie, Ben?
I found it disappointing. Ultimately,
Yeah.
almost kind of like I don't absolutely hate it, but like I don't understand why the director would put that as the closer to a trilogy of this magnitude, you know, and especially like when you hear him make statements like, well, yeah, it's going to be divisive among the fans. It's like, people aren't necessarily going to get what they want. It's like, why don't you just give people what they want, dude? You're not fucking Stanley Kubrick, numbnuts. Just put out the fucking movie, the end of the trilogy.
Look, he would have got away with that if Corey featured in the first movie.
Yeah,
and they built this up through the trilogy.
Yeah, it didn't though.
It didn't. It's absolutely ludicrous. I said it before when it came to that movie. When we went to see it in the cinema, a fella dressed up as Michael Myers came in halfway through the movie, and he just started randomly sitting beside people, and that was the most entertaining thing about that night.
Yeah.
I came very close to actually leaving the cinema with 20 minutes to go. I looked at Ellen and I said, Ellen, no matter what happens in this 20 minutes, there's no redeeming this movie. Even if it's the greatest 20 minutes ever filmed,
yeah,
it's not going to redeem the movie. And I nearly walked out.
The biggest problem was, they didn't establish Corey at all. In fact,
no.
Allison's boyfriend was like, heavily featured in Kills, right?
That's right.
And so like the storytelling was shit, dude. Like I didn't really believe that they fell in love and had this like hot relationship in the matter of like going to the bar and having him yell at her, and all of a sudden they're like riding on a bike and they're soulmates or whatever. I'm like, that's ring true to me.
No, they were always talking about. I've spoken about this numerous times, but they turned around and they were saying that they felt that the original Halloween sequel kind of ruined the mythology of Michael Myers. Well, I can tell you now, if that movie has not ruined the mythology of Michael Myers, then I don't know what will. Because this thing of Michael Myers taking somebody under his wing, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dude. He had a little protege there.
It's literally, and the bit where he goes into the sewer and he actually outpowers Michael Myers. I was like, this is just ridiculous. Now I know Michael Myers is meant to be somewhat fragile in that movie. Why, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
You go through like Kills, right? Which I liked Kills, and you go through Kills, and you have like he gets fucking hit with an iron by some lady. He gets shot and like beat and like all this shit. And like all of a sudden, he like then murders everyone. And then he goes and murders fucking homegirl. And then all of a sudden he's an old dude in the sewer. What the fuck's that about, dude?
Fucking Pennywise.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get it. And I had to, funny enough, Ben, I was just going to say to you, that Halloween Kills is actually starting to become one of my favorite sequels. It's amazing, isn't it? I didn't like it when I first seen it, but I tell you, I was persistent with that movie and I stuck with it. And I fucking really enjoy it. It's definitely the best of that trilogy, I think. I love that movie.
Yeah, I think I was a fan of Kills. A lot of it was a little. I mean, I guess the first movie in that trilogy was also um, divisive among people, but I liked 2018 too.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't mind it either. It wasn't. Look, I had high expectations for that movie. I think when after I seen it in the cinema and I started viewing it at home, I started to fully appreciate the movie.
Yeah,
Much like I did with Halloween Kills, and I keep telling myself that maybe Halloween Ends will be the same with me. Maybe if I start viewing it a few more times,
you're gonna love
I
it,
will
dude.
grow to appreciate it. But I can't see it. It's always going to be a poor conclusion to that trilogy.
That's the problem. The especially Kills. Hey Phil, by the way, David in the chat saying,
Oh,
had they not killed her boyfriend in Kills and let him carry over into Ends and then became obsessed with Michael, that would have been a better story arc. Yeah, totally.
absolutely, absolutely. I completely forgot. Actually, we were on live.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize there was comments. So sorry about that.
And Phil's creepy bids in the house saying it's our buddy Phil here. What's up, Phil?
Yeah, Phil.
Um,
So Phil, I'm just a big shout out to Phil. Phil, I'm so sorry I've been missing your phone calls. He just keeps ringing me when I'm actually at work.
yeah.
And that, so a huge apologies for that, Phil. But I promise you, I'll give you a ring whenever I have a couple of minutes free, and we can catch up.
That was sort of the problem with the trilogy in general. Like, in talking about Cameron, like in the first movie, he was like a giant asshole, right?
Yeah,
And like, fuck that prick. And then in the second movie, he's like not exactly an asshole, but then he just gets murdered like all willy nilly, like.
yeah,
Um, and then in the third movie, all of a sudden, like I understand some time's gone by and whatever, like everyone's healed and shit. But like Allison, like I don't know, that whole their relationship didn't make any fucking sense, dude. They went to a bar,
mm,
they danced for a bit, which looked fun, and then he was like, "Hey, fuck you, you don't know me, I'm all fucking like angsty and shit." And then she's like, "Oh, I love that dude." It was,
yeah.
yeah,
No, I absolutely agree with you. I just don't buy into it. My biggest concern with that character, Alison, I think the director had no idea what to do with her. He struggled. He struggled with the first two movies. He didn't know what the hell to do with her. And then the third movie, he just went, I have to do something with our character. And they gave us this eagerly romantic storyline that just made no sense. I just didn't. I just don't buy into it. And everyone keeps going on about Corey, the character, the actor that played him. Like, I don't think he did a whole lot wrong. It's just his character was boring.
yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't work for me. The weird thing was when when I watched the 2018 Halloween, I was like, right, that grew on me just like Halloween Kills did.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping that when I watched Halloween Ends, I thought I was going to be satisfied. I thought I was going to be okay. Now I can do without seeing any more Halloween movies now for years to come. But it kind of left me wanting more now. I wanted to almost like to see another movie now just to fix that mess.
Now you want to see Rob Zombie's Halloween 3, don't you?
Yeah, let's find out what happened to the white horse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's just all about the white horse.
yeah, fucking Michael Myers running down the fucking street with a fucking white horse on the roof.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
I think Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is still my least favorite in the franchise, I think.
I'm gonna go with Resurrection.
Resurrection, I would say I like Resurrection more than Halloween 2. I like it more than Halloween Ends.
Right.
I think I like it. I think I like it more than Curse of Michael Myers.
Oh, wow. Okay, wow. Well,
it's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a good movie. I'm just saying I like it. It's a goofy, stupid fucking story. Some franchises are uneven. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, famously that way.
Absolutely.
But I was so disappointed by Curse of Michael Myers when I saw it in the theater.
Yeah,
like, a lot of people love it, but
yeah, I know I'm kind of, I don't hate the movie.
Yeah.
what's it called? I find that when you try to explain what Michael Myers is all about, you're heading for a fall. No one, I don't need to know why Michael Myers is the way he is. I don't
Any
need to know.
any franchise, dude. Like
Yeah,
Dream Demons with Freddy, like part
yeah,
6, like what the shit? You get
yeah.
you know, fucking Worms with Jason. You're like, come on, guys, just fucking what the fuck is happening here? He's a worm virus now. Shit, come on, guys.
That's the going back to Terrifier. That was the beauty of the second movie for Terrifier.
Yeah,
You know, like I said, wow, they are really continuing after the first movie. That's literally right back in the morgue.
yeah,
And I was like, please don't explain why he's back. And they didn't. He just took a fucking hammer to your man's head, and that was it. And
yeah.
we were off again
He's
on
like,
another fun ride.
something
You
just caught my eye.
know, it's always fucking. I'll tell you, the biggest testament I can pay to that movie. Uh, the one thing that put me off it when I found out someone told me that it was 2 hours 20 minutes long, and I was like, what? And
Yeah.
for a fucking Terrifier movie, like 220, didn't even notice the 2 hours 20 minutes go by.
I've heard a lot of
You know,
people saying like the third act really dragged for them. It didn't for me. The
nah.
middle of the movie,
I
if there was any pacing issues for me, it was sort of like the middle part, second act, where like they're all in school hanging out with their friends and shit. Like,
yeah.
but the pacing wasn't really an issue, and it
No,
was just absolutely crazy the whole time. So,
I had no trouble with it. I don't know if I should have been laughing or not, but I found myself laughing when the mother got killed in it.
yeah,
And I was like, I was kind of me and Adam were sitting here. And I was like, my God, she is a narky fucking little shit.
yeah,
Constantly fucking. 1 minute she'd be happy, she'd be grand, and all of a sudden she'd be fucking off like a fucking Tasmanian devil. And when he blew the fucking head off her, I was actually in tears laughing here. But Ellen was looking at me and she was like, "What the fuck are you laughing at?" And I was like, "I don't know." But yeah, no, I had no problem with the running time in that movie. But I think
yeah,
the director did say that he'll never do it again. He said that he would rather make it a two-parter
yeah.
than make one movie 2 hours 20 minutes long. So I think he did say again. I don't know if how much we're going to like this or not, but he did say with the third movie that he is going to delve a bit more into why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not the biggest fan of that. We've only spoken about it there a few seconds ago. That when you start explaining a character,
Yeah.
it can almost ruin the mythology of him. So, look, we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure he has something planned anyway. You can see with that second movie. I felt when I was watching it, I said, you know what, he's setting up something else. I could feel like he's setting up a third movie. You could actually feel it.
Was
And
it
all
the
that,
fact that that crazy fucking face mutilated bitch gave birth to a full grown his head?
I fucking missed the scene. We knocked it off.
Oh,
And it's only when someone turned around and said to me, "Oh, there's a mid-credit scene." And I was like, "You fucking bastard!" So I had to go back to it. Yeah. So what the fuck was that all about?
yeah. I mean, I think he might have something in store. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how they just do like a Friday the 13th on this, and he'll just be back. Don't
Yeah.
explain it. He's just back. Yes.
He's going to be the ambulance driver.
I was going to say no, but look, it's lucky. I'm a fan. That's all I can say. I love them. I absolutely. The one thing I wasn't too crazy about was the All Hallows Eve movie.
Not super great.
His story was good. I actually liked his story. It actually the story felt a bit like it felt like that the Hitchhiker story in Creepshow 2.
Yeah.
Kind of felt a bit like that, which I quite liked. But the first two stories I thought were absolute pointless garbage. I didn't like them at all. But it set me up nicely for them movies.
Also, not David Howard Thornton playing Art the Clown, some other dude.
Oh, I didn't know. What's for the All Hallows Eve? Was that different?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was just the same actor. I didn't actually know that.
David saying Terrifier 2 ran just a little long for him. I think a lot of people felt that way. I know multiple people that I did see Evil Dead Rise. Have you seen Evil Dead Rise, Keith?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I have.
Does that mean you liked it?
Oh, fuck yeah, I did.
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh.
That's a hard franchise to rank, dude. For me,
I wouldn't like to do it.
I mean, they're all.
As a matter of fact, I have no intention of doing it.
Let's do it
Um,
right this very second.
I said something to somebody there a couple of days ago, and this somebody turned around and said to me, "Don't say that in a video."
Yeah,
But I would nearly put that movie ahead of Army of Darkness.
it's like I like every movie in that franchise,
Mm,
and so like when someone asks me like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "It was awesome." But it's not my favorite Evil Dead. Like it might rank last for me in the franchise, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it was awesome. It's just
no,
like
it was
I mean
someone
the first three are too nostalgic to be knocked out of place by a current
right,
film, I think, you know, like
right.
the remake
Well,
was better in my opinion than Rise, but Rise was really good, you know.
well, the thing is, I didn't have the same nostalgic feeling for Army of Darkness. Believe it or not, I was actually very late to the game finding out about Army of Darkness. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, I think I said this story before. Myself and my brother were actually just we were just scrolling through the channels on our TV one night, and we stumbled upon it. And I kind of turned around and I said to my brother Declan, I was like, "Yes, that looks like the fella from the Evil Dead movies."
Yeah.
And we just kept watching it, and we're like, "Well, they keep calling him Ash." We never knew. See, this is all before internet. We just we never knew a third part existed. So the nostalgic feeling for me for that third movie is not there.
Mm.
So when I finished Rise, I did look at Ellen and I went, you know what? I would nearly put that ahead of Army of Darkness. It felt fresh, it felt very new, but it felt incredibly familiar.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean I like the darker tone, you know, I mean like Army of Darkness is pretty much straight up a horror comedy, right? But like
Oh, absolutely,
and the
absolutely.
Evil Dead remake, it was excellent. But and I liked you can't do a remake in the style of Sam Raimi for a Sam Raimi movie. So you have to go in a different direction. They did really good taking it in a dark direction.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
this one sort of like you know, took that same route. Like, yeah, we're not gonna out Ted Raimi, so let's just fucking stick with this sort of like darker tone.
it did so many things right. You know, I there was one scene, and I said it to numerous people now. It's my favorite scene in the movie. Easily, my favorite scene in the movie was the scene where you see all the deaths of the neighbors through the keyhole.
Yeah.
I just thought that scene. I was like, this is fucking genius. But then when the scene ended, I kind of turned around to Ellen and I was like, well, wait a minute now, everyone's fucking dead.
Yeah.
You know, and I turned around to Ellen and I was like, well, they're not going to kill the youngsters that's in this apartment. And how fucking wrong was I?
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
Uh,
David saying, by the way, here's his ranking: Evil Dead remake, then Evil Dead Rise, then the first movie, then two, then Army of Darkness.
oh, Army of Darkness is his favorite. Okay.
No, that's his least favorite. The
Oh,
remake
Army
is
of
his
Darkness is
first
his least
favorite.
favorite.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, so he's the remake at number one.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. Okay.
he loves it. He loves the remake, dude.
It's one of those like you said, Ben. It's just one of those franchises that they're all so bloody close to each other. It's a phenomenal franchise.
And I could be wrong, David. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he didn't grow up watching like the Evil Dead movies. I don't believe so. He doesn't have that same nostalgic draw to the
Fair
original
enough.
ones that I might have. And I would put,
I'm
I would say the first Evil Dead. This might be controversial because that's a lot of people's favorite, but that might be my least favorite in the franchise.
okay.
I think
The
Evil
first
Dead
Evil Dead.
2. Okay, let's rank them right this very second.
Right. Okay. Go on. Go for it. Go for it.
All right.
Okay.
My in the last place, uh I mean, this, yeah, whatever. This is written in stone. You can never change this, Keith. So this is it forevermore. I'm gonna have a T-shirt made, and I'm going to basically distribute them amongst everybody who watches you on YouTube. But I'm gonna say the first Evil Dead movie, least favorite. Then I'm gonna say Evil Dead Rise. Then I'm gonna say the remake. Then I'm gonna say Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 2. So Evil Dead 2 is my favorite.
Evil Dead 2. Right. Okay. I'm gonna go my least favorite.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did I break up?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you
right.
froze for a second. I was like, quit fucking with me, dude.
So yeah, the remake. I'm gonna go with the remake. I'm gonna go with Army of Darkness. I'm gonna go with Rise, the original Evil Dead, and Evil Dead 2.
So
And
Evil
by
Dead
the way,
2
as
is
well,
your favorite. So you go
yeah,
2.
part two is my
Okay.
favorite. Part one is my second favorite. The original is my second favorite. Then Rise, Army of Darkness, and the remake. And not forgetting as well, like you're talking about how consistent that franchise is. Throw in the TV show as well, which is
Yeah.
just as equally as good as them fucking movies.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal franchise. It really, really is.
It's got to be the most consistent franchise. Yeah.
Hands down.
I can't think of another more consistent.
You know what? I've spoken to someone. I was actually John. I was talking about tonight. I got that second sight edition of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and this is the fourth deluxe release that I own for this movie. Now, what I've never told anyone before. Well, I think I told you before, Ben. I told all the boys. I'm not a fan of Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I know.
It's one of these movies that I want to love it. I want to enjoy it, but it's not happening for me. And I don't know what it was. I don't know what is it with the movie that's just bothering me. And I think when I watched the 4K release from Second Sight, I think I realized what it was. And I think Ellen helped me out a lot with it. We were watching it, and I found irritated. I was irritated watching it. The sound of the movie, the way the screams out of people. I was just getting a headache listening to the movie. The way the ugly directing style to it, it's horrible to look at. And I just find that I was irritated watching it, as good as the movie is. You know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it. It's a weird thing.
That's its charm, though. That's what makes it effective. It makes you cringe, like that dinner scene with the fucking like all the crazy sounds and the super macro of the eyeball, and it's just like manic, fucking hectic shit.
It was too much, Ben. I turned around to Ellen and I says, I am fucking close to muting this fucking movie. I couldn't take it anymore. I was just that scene in particular, the dinner scene. I was looking at Ellen. Ellen looked like she was actually going to die in front of me from just ear bleed. It was rough. It was rough.
I remember watching that with a girlfriend. Of course, countless times I've seen that film. That was like, first time I watched it, I think I was in third grade or some shit. So I've been watching that movie for decades now, possibly centuries, considering I'm 1,000 years old. I guess it was only out since the 70s, but like I'm desensitized, and to me, it's always like kind of like on the PG side of a horror movie, as far as like graphic shit goes. And I watched it with a girlfriend once who didn't like horror movies. None of my girlfriends have ever liked horror movies. And she was like, when we finished it, she was like crying and shit. She was like so shook up, and I was like, oh shit.
Wow.
Like, you forget how effective like some of these movies can be. And that one is effective because it's just so fucking like it puts you on edge, man. It's like that's what makes it a masterpiece for me.
Yeah, I said it numerous times though as well. It's the only movie I can think of where you're actually rooting for the killer to take out the fellow in the wheelchair.
Yeah, dude, fuck Franklin, man. Ellen
was actually watching. Ellen was watching the movie with me, and she was like, "Keith, can you just? Is his time coming soon? I can't take it anymore."
Yeah.
It's he's a horrible character.
He is. He was better in part 2 when he was a corpse with holding a flashlight.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to stick with it, but I'm confirming here now, and I'm saying it on the record. I'm going to say it in my video as well. It's the last time I'm buying a Texas Chainsaw Massacre edition. That's it. I'm done. I'm not buying any more. Enough is enough there.
When Film Arena puts that one click out, we'll just see how that goes for you, Keith. To
be honest, I think I have the definitive version now with that second sight release, so I don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, I don't know how many times I own Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I own multiple deluxe editions, and I'm gonna buy the next one that comes out too.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm not. I'm not questioning. It's just not for me. I want to love the movie, but it's just not happening.
Now, David asks, "What do you think of the remake, Keith?"
I prefer it.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
does too.
yeah, I do.
It's good.
You know, I pride myself on my honesty when I do videos on YouTube. This one is stumping me a little bit. I don't know whether I should say the things that's in my head, like saying that the remake is better. I don't know how that's going to be received. I could see my subscriber base just going fucking apeshit over it.
I know more people than just David who prefer the remake to the original.
It's a wonderful movie. It's an incredible movie. It's easily one of the best remakes ever made, along with Evil Dead.
Yeah,
I might add.
Hills Have Eyes, solid. The Fog, solid remake. No, I'm just kidding.
I actually bought that on Blu-ray.
I saw that, dude. I saw your video where you were talking about that.
Fuck my curiosity anyway. Fuck it all to hell. I should have left it alone. Awful.
The remake's great, man. Amityville.
Enjoyed that.
The remake is great. It's a much better made film. I mean, it's modern technology. You got like a big budget behind it. Part of the thing that's great about the original for me is the magic that came out of that movie was due to necessity. You know what I mean? Like if Tobe Hooper had like a big budget to do that movie, it wouldn't have been as good. You know?
No, and it's the same with the second sight release of it, because if they cleaned the picture up and made it sharp and it kind of removed all that kind of grimy look to it, I think that the movie would definitely be missing something as well. So like I said, the 4K transfer on it, when you do look at it, it still looks like a horrible, ugly movie.
Yeah,
they haven't removed that.
No, I have the second sight release, but I haven't watched that transfer yet. Is it a lot different than like the any other 4K set like the
No, I only own the Midnight Classics 4K release, and Midnight Classics doesn't have HDR on theirs. So color alone you're going to see a monumental upgrade in color.
Yeah,
that's the one thing you're going to notice. You're going to notice that immediately, how colorful the movie looks compared to that release. But in terms of sharpness, it's just not there. It's not a movie. It's not a sharp looking movie. It never will be.
You can only do so much with them.
You can only do so much. That's it. That's all I can say about it. The biggest upgrade is going to be the color.
Yeah,
that's and you should be happy with it.
David says the Psycho remake beats them all. I
tell you, I thought of another one. We actually knocked it off. Black Christmas. Now, not
the second remake.
The second remake. We actually knocked that off. I couldn't take it anymore.
Like, I don't exactly know what you could compare it to, but like it's in my list on HBO, and it's one of these things like I may never actually watch it. Every now and again I'm like, oh yeah, that's there. I should watch that just to see how shitty it is. And then I'm like, but there's like this other movie that's fucking not shitty that I want to watch. Like, fuck, what are you gonna do?
Prom Night. Actually, that's another god awful remake as well.
I have not seen the Prom Night.
No, I don't. I still think if I had to pick a worst, the Fog would definitely be up there for me.
Any remake, I said this before, I'll say it again. Any movie that is successful because of the ambiance and atmosphere, if you don't you can't remake that,
No,
you just can't do it. So
no, I know a lot of people would look at me and go, well, Keith, The Fog is one of your favorite movies of all time, and there was no way that the remake was ever going to live up to that. It's nothing to do with that. You see, I'm not one of them people. I don't go into, I didn't go into Evil Dead Rise going, if this movie is not as good as the original two, then this movie is going to be crap. I just take it for what it is, and people can't seem to do that for some strange reason.
I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre currently, I was saying that when anyone, who can pick a fucking favorite, but when anyone actually asked me what my favorite horror movie is, I said Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I loved the
Okay.
remake. I was really
Yeah.
impressed. I loved the remake so much that I was disappointed with the Friday the 13th remake coming from the same director. I was like, wait, what the fuck just happened here? He did that, and then he did this with the fucking like a perfect nipple placement, dude. Your tits are so juicy, bro. Like, what the fuck just happened here? Which I've grown
No,
to appreciate, though. But
but we've spoken about this before. I've actually spoken about it a few times in streams, but I'm starting to think that maybe the Friday the 13th franchise belongs in the 80s, and maybe that there's just no way of capturing what they've done with them movies nowadays. You just won't get away with it.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I think that's why when I watched the Terrifier movies, it took me right back
yeah,
uh, to 80s slasher movies, and let the Terrifier movies do that now. Leave Friday the 13th where it belongs in the 80s. As much as I hate to say that, I don't get me wrong. I would love to, I'd love to see them do a great Friday the 13th remake or a sequel, but I just can't see it happening.
well, they're doing a series coming at some
Is there a
point.
series coming? Really? So
Yeah,
what's
because
that based on?
uh, I think it's like a prequel. Uh,
Don't tell me it's Jason as a fucking child.
it's when his mom's pregnant with him. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's
This
all told through ultrasound, dude. It's all told through ultrasound. It's like him stabbing at her organs and shit. Um,
Oh, I don't know.
David loves the remake. I've come to appreciate the remake, but you gotta like when it came out. Like I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake when it came out. I was like, that's a good remake, man.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, Marcus Nespel did the TCM remake. He's gonna do the Friday the 13th remake, dude. This is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be like a
yeah.
dark, sort of like a grimy take on the fucking the
Mm.
movie, and it ended up being more like a generic feeling sequel, in execution, especially compared to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake.
Right. Like, correct me if I'm wrong as well, but I haven't seen the remake in a while now for Friday the 13th. But did they not put like a definitive ending on that movie? Did he not go through a fucking chipper or something like that?
Dude, they put a definitive ending on it, and then they tagged on a fucking like a little like end note where he jumps out of the lake, and it's like that doesn't make a lot of sense to me
No, no,
because they did. It
ridiculous.
was like I don't think he actually went through the chipper, if I remember correctly. The
Oh, he
chains,
didn't go through it.
yeah.
Ah, right. Okay. So it just kind of got the back of him, was it?
No, like it was like his chain was like pulling him in, and it like snapped him like in
Oh,
half or some shit.
right. And so how did you feel about then the likes of the Nightmare on Elm Street remake?
Pretty disappointed with that one too, especially since like you could really do like I mean, it's a great story. It's an epic story, and you could really do an amazing retelling of it, dude. And
Absolutely.
they didn't. In fact, like there's the scene in the first movie, amazing, with the wall coming like over,
Yeah.
right? And in the second one, there's that same fucking scene, but it looks 30 times worse because it's like some Hercules the Legendary Journey fucking CGI from like looked like it's from like 1983 or something. I don't know. They hired like some high school kid to do it. I don't remember, but
Yeah, I know what you. And how did you find your man as Freddy himself? Let's just forget about the movie.
yeah,
Just take as Freddy, just as Freddy. How did you take him?
he he wasn't part of the problem with him in general with that movie. So Freddy is a child murderer, right? You can
Mm,
read between the lines if you want, to believe that he molested children or something. Like that's up to you. But he's only stated to be a child murderer, and
yeah,
somehow that's like they downgraded him to child molester. It's like a downgrade. Like child murder is like, oh, that's way better, but which obviously
yeah.
it isn't, but it is. As far as like a character goes, you can't root for a fucking child molester,
Absolutely,
dude.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
and though like Freddie was a bad dude in the first few movies there before he became a stand-up comedian, like like you still root for him, dude. You're still like, oh, Freddie's awesome, like But in this movie, you don't exactly. I didn't mind that I didn't mind the aesthetic. Like they're like, okay, he looks like a genuinely burnt up person.
Mm.
That didn't bother me. Um, but and the performance didn't necessarily bother me, but the way they sort
No.
of like, did the whole character presentation wasn't great.
Yeah. Right. I didn't. I thought he was. Uh, he had impossible shoes to fill, didn't he? I think
Yeah,
that's the problem he had with it. I love the way he sounded. I love the bass that was behind his voice. I was always impressed by the way he spoke in the movie. But it's just that I think it was more the movie than anything else. It was just the story. It's just how it was executed. It was just terrible.
yeah. I think there was a few things that I thought were cool. The little micro naps I thought was an interesting concept, and I thought the scene where she's in the pharmacy and the aisle keeps sort of like morphing into like
That was brilliant.
I thought that was really well executed.
Yeah, absolutely,
But
absolutely.
it was a pretty big letdown, and it was such a big letdown for everyone else that like Platinum Dunes was like, we're out of the remake game, guys. We're not going to do it anymore because everyone's like, what the fuck have you just done? It's our beloved classic.
It's the horrible thing about it. The horrible thing about it is, especially Freddy Krueger's character, Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Age doesn't matter because when they're done with putting the prosthetics on him, he's just going to look like Freddy Krueger. He's not going to look like an older Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just don't understand why they didn't get him back. They must have known there was going to be a backlash from that movie alone by not getting him back. Look at him in Freddy versus Jason. He was fucking great in it. He was.
I mean, at this point, that was 20 years ago, though.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I've been seeing buzz about him reprising his role as Freddy, though, for some reason on Instagram.
I wouldn't say no to it. If Harrison Ford can play Indiana Jones at the age of what, 80? Yeah. 81? Is he not? Yeah. Why can't he not play him, Freddy Krueger again?
I mean, he's not a young dude. He's up there in age, right? 70s. How old do you think?
Yeah, he would be. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see one more. I know it won't happen, but I would love to see it.
He's 75 years old.
75.
But 75, today's 75, like, I mean, did you watch Leave It to Beaver, by the way, in
No.
Ireland? Okay. Well,
no.
Like, any of those 50 sitcoms, dudes, you see like the father in the show looks like just some old dude, right? But then you like go, that dude was only like 27 years old. What the fuck? And then you see like, people today, you see like a 65-year-old dude fucking flexing with a full sleeve on Instagram or whatever. Like, I don't know, wherever those dudes do that shit. And you're like, okay, age clearly is a different thing than it used to be.
No, well, that's an absolute fact. Like we only watched Grease there a couple of nights ago. And I was like, get that. Did you ever see the cast of Grease? And you are meant to be fucking high school students.
Oh, I know.
Get the fuck out. There was one fella in particular, he looked at least 60 in the movie.
Yeah.
And all that. And he was meant to be a bloody teenager. I was like, nah. It was very... Look at even the Friday the 13th movies when you go back and you look at all the cast, they're meant to be these youngsters. They never look young.
No,
it's kind of what puts me off when you watch like the Scream movies today.
Yeah.
They actually do look like kids. I want to go back to where the kids look like adults.
Well, my first horror movie ever was Sleepaway Camp, and I watched it when I was a kid. And I remember watching it, and I was like, oh, those older kids, man, those are like teenagers, they're like fucking, to me, they were like all mature and shit. And then I rewatched it. I didn't watch it again until I was a senior in high school, and I told my friends, like, guys, we're gonna rent a horror movie, and I was like, guys, this is the scariest fucking movie you're ever gonna see. It's goddamn terrifying. It's just gonna it's blood curdling. And we watched it, and we just had so much fun making fun of it and shit. But those kids were like genuinely young, dude. They're like,
right.
I was like, I thought they were like fucking college students looking or some shit when I was a kid.
Yeah. You're going to be surprised when I say this. I might have said it to you before. I still haven't seen that movie. I haven't.
Sleepaway Camp?
No.
It's been spoiled for you, right? The end?
No, I know the fucking ending of it. It's fucking terrifying. I don't know why I haven't seen it. Do you know, it's hard to get a good release of it over here.
Huh.
It is. I'd like to get 88 Films brought out the sequels, part 2 and 3, but we never got the first one. We never got a good release of the first movie over here,
Now,
and I would love to see it.
Scream Factory does have a release.
Yeah,
You definitely should watch it, Keith. It's not a
uh,
bad. It's a fucking all time classic, dude. Not just because it's my first horror movie, but it's a very interesting film in regards to like I don't know, especially a lot of the conversations that happen today with gender and stuff. It's just a really interesting film. Uh,
right.
and
Look,
because sorry, dude.
I've nothing against it. I've actually nothing against not watching the movie. I've never owned the movie.
Yeah.
You know, I've never gotten it. It's just it's one of them movies, like kind of like and again, Cody, only for Cody done this for me. What's it called? My Bloody Valentine. The
Mm.
original My Bloody Valentine. It's very hard to get a version of that movie over here, and it's only when Cody sent me the steelbook of it. That's the first time I've ever owned that movie.
Did you love it?
Oh, I thought it was incredible.
Yeah. One of the
Fucking
best
love the movie.
One of the
You
best
know,
movie classes.
you know how frustrating it is to actually love. Like I've seen it years ago,
Yeah.
but like it's so frustrating to love a movie so much that you can't buy it. It's. I'm even going through it now with a fantastic horror movie from the 80s called Superstition.
Mm.
I cannot get the. I love the fucking movie. I cannot get a hold of it on Blu-ray. I have it on DVD. I want to get it on Blu-ray because the DVD looks fucking horrendous. And Scream Factory brought a version of it out, but it's gone now, and it's just going for crazy money.
Yeah, I think Sleepaway Camp, sadly, I don't have like a really deluxe release of it. I just have the Scream Factory one. I have media books for part 2 and 3, but like I think the licensing was different than the first one, so I don't have like a dope ass media book for the first one.
And what's the sequels like, Ben? Are they good?
Ooh, they're different. Different Angela, first off.
Okay,
It's played by Pamela Springsteen, who's Bruce Springsteen's sister.
very good.
And the tone gets campier and goofier. So the second one is a lot of fun, but it's a lot goofier. And then the third one is just even goofier still and not quite as good, in my opinion.
Right. Okay. Because I actually had a chance to pick up both of them for around €9 each.
Yeah, they're worth a watch, but I would watch them after the original.
Yeah, I've got right. Are they connected? Are they connected to the first movie, or
it's the same character, same pro/antagonist throughout the three, character wise, portrayed by a different actress in the second 2 movies.
Right. Okay. No, I'm going through a nice run of movies. Kind of 80s slasher movies now. Me and Ellen have been going through this phase where we go onto Amazon. Ellen picks out a slasher movie on Blu-ray. I pick out one. We both buy the movie. We watch it and both movies on one night, and then we'll see who wins. You know, who bought the better movie.
Star Wars, dude. I like it. That sounds like a series.
Yeah. So we've been picking up a few good ones. I actually picked up one there recently. I think it was called. Oh my god! I can't think of the name of it, but the killer was actually killing everyone in a bear suit.
Ew.
Oh god, what's it called? Ellen's version was Hell High. The movie Ellen got was Hell High. I can't fucking think of the name of it. It's up there, but it was very unique. Where the killer, the killer was dressed up as a bear.
Yeah,
it's a straight out 80s slasher movie, but it has a nifty little ending to it. That kind of reminded me a bit of that Sleepaway Camp in a way. The ending of that movie. So yeah, we're going through a nice run at the moment. I watched another one there called The Initiation, which Daphne Zuniga, the girl that's in The Shore Thing. Have you ever seen that?
The which one?
Have you ever seen that movie, The Shore Thing, with John Cusack?
I have, but not for like decades.
Yeah, the main woman in that movie, Daphne Zuniga, I think her name is. She was in that Initiation. It's a good slasher movie as well. Great slasher movie.
Yeah.
Good ending for it as well.
She was in Spaceballs, Fly 2, Melrose Place, The Initiation,
That's right.
Last Rites, Beyond Paradise. She looks like nowadays. I'm looking at a picture of her, and she looks like Catherine Zeta-Jones a little bit. That's
actually good. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Yeah, she's actually very good in that Initiation. She's great in The Shore Thing. She is. But yeah, we're going through a nice run of little kind of 80s slasher movies. We're we're finding a few diamonds in the rough, you know.
Yeah.
No, which is always great.
Hobbs in the chat saying he's astounded that you haven't seen Sleepaway Camp, but it's a must watch. Which I agree with. And Phil is saying Felissa Rose signed his Sleepaway Camp figure yesterday. I saw a picture of that.
Oh, I did see the picture of that actually.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, it's just one of them movies. It's just fallen through the cracks of time. I've just never got around to it. Just like Chopping Mall. I still fucking can't get
you're in
because
for a treat, dude.
No, because my problem now with Chopping Mall is there's a fucking media book out there for it, a lovely media book, and I want the media book. Nah, did you get it?
I have one.
You have one? All right.
I think it's nameless. Hold on, let me grab it. Yeah, it is nameless.
Yeah, that's the one I'm trying to get.
Yeah, you should get it.
That's the one. Fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Is it limited to Ben? Just out of curiosity, is there a number on it?
333. This is 137.
Yeah, so that's why I'm finding it hard to get it. It's a lovely steelbook, media book. Sorry.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that artwork on the disc.
Oh, that's incredible.
Shopping costs you an arm and a leg, dude.
That's great. It's great. I'll get it someday.
Chopping Mall is great. Vestron did a very nice release. Well, it's not like fancy deluxe or anything, but the transfer looks good. It's a good release that's available.
Like I'm always open, you know. Again, I think funny enough, and I pride myself. I say this a lot when it comes to movies. I always give movies a second go. And I think a good example of it there now is that movie that you suggested for me, that Night of the Demons.
Oh yeah. I remember how disappointed you were.
Sorry?
I remember how disappointed you were the first time you saw it.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I didn't like it, and rest assured, I stuck with it. Started watching it, and now it's a go-to Halloween movie for me now. It's a movie I watch every October.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic.
Actually, no. As a matter of fact, I actually thought the sequel was good. I enjoyed the sequel.
Sequel's fun. It's like even goofier still.
Oh, absolutely. It's not as good, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I did. You know, I think the only problem I had with it was it had a huge disconnect from that first movie. It's almost like the first movie didn't exist in that movie. Bar having one character back.
They should have had a lot more lipstick tit scenes in the second film, I thought, but maybe that's just me. Hard to say.
That scene still looks great. I think it looks incredible. Practically, it's done brilliantly.
I know, man. You're like,
yeah, man. I'm very surprised. Very, very surprised.
Get that out of there, lady. What the fuck?
No, I had a fun time with it. Again, I always say I always have to revisit movies, no matter how much I hate them the first time. I always revisit them just in case. You know, so it all depends on the mood. You could be just not in the right frame of mind when you watch these movies for the first time, and you know, and then you kind of go into it and you're a bit more. Maybe my expectations were a bit lower for it the second time, and then I inevitably found some enjoyment from it.
I've seen a few movies that I didn't like the first time I saw them and have grown to love.
Like what?
Kill List is up there.
Wow.
That's an amazing film, but sometimes a movie is like a slow burn and you're not in the mood for it, and you're like, fuck, that's a boring ass movie, and then you watch it again and you are in the mood for a slow burn, and you're like, that was just amazingly paced, like a beautiful film, you know. So that's like probably top of my list of movies I've made that turnaround on.
I think the biggest U-turn I ever took on a movie, from absolutely hating it from the first time I seen it to being probably one of my favorite sci-fi horror movies of all time, Event Horizon.
Oh yeah, it's a classic.
You see, Empire Magazine didn't do us any favors when it came to that movie. If anyone has that Empire Magazine, they should check it out. The pictures they actually showed on the Empire Magazine, not one picture that they showed in that magazine was actually in the movie.
Nice.
It's you know the way that movie has a history. Apparently, it had this kind of director's cut that everyone wants to see, but it almost looked like that Empire actually got all the footage from that director's cut and put it into the magazine. And I remember us going to the movie, and not one. If you actually just seen the pictures on Empire Magazine, you'd understand what I'm talking about. There's some great pictures. There's a picture of Jack Noseworthy, where he comes back and he's just cracks all over his face. He looked very fucking terrifying. And we were just waiting for that scene to happen. It just never happened.
Yeah.
And I remember leaving the cinema with my fiance, and we were like, "Oh, this is fucking awful. I'll never watch this movie again." And then around a week passed, and my brother Gregory came up to me and he was like, "Did you go to that event Horizon?" I was like, it's horrible." I said, "Do not go to it. You're going to hate it." And he said, "Oh fuck, I've nothing else better to do. I'm going to go to it." And then I actually decided to go with him, just so I could sit with him and laugh at how bad it actually was. But you know, and then I looked at it and I was like, actually, it's not a bad fucking movie. You know? It's really, you know, I'm really enjoying it here. And then when it came out in physical media, that's it. It just took off for me.
I think like expectations are everything going into a film. Like, if you have and it's hard because there's a few movies where I saw the trailer and I was like, holy shit, I cannot wait for this. And then I saw the movie and I was like, holy shit, that was better than I was hoping it would be. That happens very rarely. And so
it's funny.
Go on.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, it's funny you just said that because that's exactly how I felt about Evil Dead Rise.
Nice.
I thought that the trailer was phenomenal. I only seen one trailer to it.
Yeah. Did you see the Red Band trailer?
Yeah, that's the one I seen. And when I seen that, I was like, this movie, there is no way that this movie can be bad. You know, and I don't know how the movie managed to do it, but it actually exceeded my expectations. You know, it rarely happens.
Let's see. I'm trying to see. I don't think I've. David's in the chat saying Phil had him watch Blades, and I'm trying to think. Have I seen Blades? I have not. It's a 1989 indie horror film.
Blades, no.
But it looks like it's
sorry, I just seen David ask me a question there about the Prowler. Yeah, David, I've seen it's definitely up there as one of my favorite 80s slasher movies, The Prowler. I think it's known as Rosemary's Killer over here. It is. The work that Tom Savini does in that movie is incredible.
Now, I will say The Prowler is one that I need to revisit because I was bored as shit watching it. And I didn't finish watching it, yeah. So it could be one of these things where you're just not in that right mood.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I'm a big fan of The Prowler.
I know I've seen like the practical effects and stuff. I've seen the kills. And I just was bored with the pacing and
okay.
I just wasn't into the film. So that's another perfect thing where I can watch it and be like, oh man, that was really great. Because I know a lot of people that love that movie.
I'm such a fan. What did I watch recently? I was really impressed by it. Again, a film I hadn't seen in years. House on Sorority Row. Had a great time with that movie as well.
Oh yeah.
That's another movie that spawned a shite remake.
Did it?
Yeah, Sorority Row, I think it was called. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've seen I have seen the remake.
Bruce Willis's daughter is in it.
Was she?
Ruma Willis, yeah.
Yeah, I have a copy of the remake, and I think Mark of Horror sent it to me actually.
Yeah, I as far as I remember, I think the killer uses it's like a tire iron, but he's kind of customized it into a blade or something like that. It's a weird weapon he's using in it.
Yeah,
but I remember just being massively underwhelmed by the movie.
David saying Blades was a Jaws spoof. Sean Blue Digital and Hayden have entered the chat. What's up, y'all?
Hey, Hayden.
I just looked at the picture from Blades, and it was like lawnmower blades coming towards a chick on a golf course with some dudes behind her. So I didn't think that it was a Jaws spoof, but I guess maybe it's Jaws is a golf course lawnmower dude or some shit. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Cody in the house too. What's up, Cody?
Hey, Cody. Yeah, I'm just reading Sean's comment there. Don't mess with Ben.
You know I do. I'll give you your cake, motherfucker.
I still think it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's yeah, like I said, I keep going back to it. I think it's a blessing that I'm not living in America. It'll be there's just too much temptation there.
I mean, I bet
Way
they'd
too much.
ship it over to you.
What?
They'd probably ship it over to you.
Don't say that to me.
They'll probably ship it. They might even do free shipping, dude.
Don't say that to me. Don't say that. Oh God, I've that much crap coming through the door. It's unbelievable at this point.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna need a whole nother pod, homie.
Yeah, look, it's. I'm not going to say it won't happen. It might.
Yeah.
Actually, it's. We're
Double
not
two
against it. Put it
stories,
that way.
dude. Like one right on top of the other, I think.
If I have a fucking stairs going up to the middle of the. That'd be
Elevator.
nice, wouldn't it? That'd be fucking great. No, I don't know how I do it. I keep finding room in here, but again, it is handy to have that second movie room in the house.
Yeah.
It's I've actually done it there recently now, where I kind of start taking out the Blu-rays that I had doubles of on 4K,
Yeah.
and that just freed up an incredible amount of space in this room. So, but in terms of busts, I actually spent an hour in this pod today thinking where the fuck to put that Child's Play bust when I get it through the door. I don't know where I'm going to put it at the moment.
Oh yeah, Cody's saying that Paragon also sells the evil head from the Shutter series, the head in the dollhouse, and I saw that, and I might actually buy it. Cody, go back to their site because they also are developing a phantasm sphere, like a metal phantasm sphere. And
Ben, send that link to me whenever you have a chance to read it, just in case I forget it.
The sphere link.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Maybe I'll put it in the chat right now. Let's see.
Yeah, cool.
Cody
still has one of those things in his collection. I've been actually trying to get it ever since Cody done a video on it. That Evil Dead, the Kandarian dagger.
Oh yeah.
I haven't doing anything to try and get hold of that. It's just I have a spot in this pod. It's just a table just right in front of me here, and it would be fucking perfect for it. And I'm hoping someday I can get it.
All right, let's see. Let me see. I can share my screen, right? Isn't that a thing I can do here on StreamYard? Let me see if I can do this so I can just show everyone the sort of shit that they have on their website. Let's see.
Get back 1 second so I can grab a drink. 1 second.
All right. I think. Give me a second here, guys. Sorry. Solo layout and share screen. Is that a thing I can do here? No. Oh, look at that. Like, why the fuck can't I do the how do you share your screen? Are you a pro at this, Keith? Do you know how to do that shit?
I wouldn't have a clue. I honestly wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't imagine it'd be too hard to do. Not that many options out there.
I don't see hold on, let me look at this. Oh yeah, here we go. There we go. Jesus, no, I'm getting all sorts of let's see. Okay. Can you guys see that shit?
Ah, very good, yes.
Okay, let me go to this view real quick. All right, so they got a Batarang. They got the Jurassic Park amber staff. They got this fucking thing.
Wow.
Supernatural Join the Hunt. I don't know what the fuck that is.
No.
Some ruby slippers. Those look fancy.
That's fantastic.
Goonies. Nice.
Oh, lovely.
Here's the Creep Show one. I probably will end up getting this head because it's pretty cool, man. And that's a good episode too.
That's the best episode.
Yeah, it's up there. But here's the Creep Show ashtray. Very cool.
Unbelievable.
But then, like, let's see, our products. Ooh, look at that. Backman smoke capsules. They got a Blade Runner gun like the Tomasuki one. But here's the Sentinel Sphere coming soon. Let's see. Yeah, full-size replica is made of chrome metal. includes multiple interchangeable metal attachments, primary blades, cranial drill, tri-blade, can be attached magnetically.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm and it's a fully licensed dope ass fucking substantial prop. So I'm added to the list. I don't know how much it'll be. The ashtray wasn't cheap, but
Yeah.
I liked it. You know.
I think it'll be a lovely display piece. There's no question about it.
Yeah, it's pretty fancy. Um, let's see. Anything else worth mentioning? Oh yeah, this is kind of cool. The
That's great.
Newman's little Barbasol can
That's
there.
fantastic. Oh wow.
That's a fun prop if you're like a
That's a
huge
good one. That's a good one.
Jurassic Park fan. I saw that you just got the Lost Boys
No,
bottle.
I've just seen that there. What's that?
I don't know. It's coming soon. Hold on, let me just check this real quick. Apollo Bat Shield. Do you remember this being like a crucial part of that film?
Oh yeah, that's how Michael becomes a vampire.
Hmm.
He
This
does.
one's coming soon too.
Oh, that would be oh, that's something I definitely would love to have.
Full size glass replica, dude, adorned with
Wow.
distressed metal ornate settings, faux jewelry, weathered finish, recreates the age of what appears to be a true relic.
Wow.
100 to
Oh.
750. Oh shit, you gotta get in on this stuff right here, dude.
Oh my god.
Shipping calculated at checkout, dude. So just check that
They're gonna tell me now that they're doing ship worldwide, aren't you?
that Ireland box. Now it's gonna be like we only ship to the US and Ireland.
That's something I actually, something, that Batman piece looks incredible as well.
It does, dude. Like let me pull up the whole page because I looked at this. I'm not a giant I'm not like the biggest. I mean, it's cool because it comes in like this pelican case and shit. Look at how it all breaks
Absolutely. Oh
down.
wow.
I'm not the biggest, like big enough Batman fan to actually get this, but it's like a full like looks like it's machined anodized aluminum.
No.
I don't think it will actually deploy in the way that it does in the film, but
Sorry, Ben, is there a price down for that? I'd say that's going to be serious.
this
That's
one
going to be
is
serious.
only $800.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, I definitely don't love Batman that much now, I can tell you.
I mean, hey, dude, that's just the price of an Alien one-click box from
Yeah, and I'm not paying that either for it.
This one's limited to 1,000. Yeah, machined aluminum, anodized, nice. Machined brass, nice. Custom pelican case there. I mean, I have no doubt that if you buy this, you would be like, "Oh shit, that is amazing." I'm all.
There's no question that it's worth the money. It is. You can see the work that's gone into it. It's just a question of whether you're willing to spend that kind of money.
I am not willing to spend that kind of money on a Batman prop.
No, definitely not for me.
What the? Let's go back to no, not you, dude.
I'm sorry.
What was this where we were at before?
That's where we are. Yeah, that's
okay.
The one. Yeah. No, it's great seeing websites like that. It's to get like little replicas, like prop replicas of, like, Jesus, imagine actually getting the bottle from Lost Boys. That would be just wow.
You don't have to just imagine it, Keith. You can actually make that happen, dude.
Yeah, I don't be one bit surprised if you see me doing a video of me holding the bottle.
I know.
Chances are chances every Saturday night I'll be in my pod drinking from it.
Hayden saying for $800, Michael Keaton better hand deliver that shit to him.
That's a fair enough comment as well. Now, it is quite
if it was hand delivered by Michael Keaton, would you spend $1,500 on it?
Well, yeah, I think you would, wouldn't you?
Would you spend like $1,000 if it was a Michael Keaton lookalike? I mean, that's not that much more for like shipping,
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. What's the one I was going to fucking say it, you know? It's going to be bloody head. Gone. No, it's gone. Fucking useless I am.
Mr. Dan says he saw a $300 Batmobile at the Mattel outlet store in LA. I bet there's some pretty fancy Batmobile replicas that have been made, you know?
Oh, I well believe it. I well believe it. Yeah, I'm actually
Um,
going through a lot of them Batman movies at the moment.
I know, I saw that. Well, I haven't actually watched
Yeah.
that video yet with the Batman and Robin.
Oh, it's got awful. I lasted exactly 30 minutes. I couldn't take it anymore.
Was that the first time you'd seen it?
No. I seen it
Uh,
back, and I actually went to see it in the cinema, and it was the last time I seen it. It's definitely my Superman 4 of the Batman franchise. It's a god awful movie. I hate it. Have you seen it?
I saw it when it first came out, dude.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and not since. Not one time since.
No, it's. I actually do say it in the video. I actually just threw my hands in the air and said, "Look, I bought this just to complete a collection. That was it.
Yeah.
I have no interest in the movie."
What if Christopher Nolan did a remake of it? That same cast. Same cast, same production design, slightly larger nipples on the suits, but very similar.
I said at the start. I said at the start of the video. I said all you have to do is watch the first 12 minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
It will tell you everything that you need to know about that movie. You know, it is absolute like Schwarzenegger. I love Schwarzenegger, but Jesus Christ, has to be some of the most cringing dialogue you will ever hear or come out of a villain. It was just too hard to watch. It was horrible. Hated it.
That was maybe the last big budget film that Alicia Silverstone was in.
I think she was gone after. She kind of disappeared after that, didn't she?
Well, she's made a comeback lately. She's been in a couple of actually really cool movies.
If you're going to say The Lodge, I'm going to disagree with you strongly.
I did like The Lodge a lot. You'll like it on your second viewing. You'll be like, "What the fuck was I thinking, dude? I love this movie."
No. That these elevated horror movies are just not. They're not working for me.
I mean, you're the only person who called it elevated. To me, it was just an atmospheric, like really like it was a slow burn, but it was an atmospheric story being told.
No, it's I. You know, when I say elevated horror, I'm not against it. Like Hereditary, some people would say Hereditary is kind of an elevated horror. Now, I don't know if you would really enjoyed that movie, but then going back to Midsommar, no.
I loved both of those movies. Midsommar is, not for everyone. I know more than a few people that don't like it. I know a few people that didn't like Hereditary, which I absolutely loved.
No, it's a wonderful. It's very unsettling. It's horribly unsettling, that movie. It's
Hereditary is one of those movies that we were talking about earlier, where you saw the trailer and you're like, "Wow, that looks really interesting. I can't wait to see this." And you see it and you're like, "Fuck, that was really good."
yeah, absolutely. Actually, speaking of that, what's his name? The director, I can't think of his name.
Ari Aster.
Yeah, didn't he drop a trailer for his new movie? It's not a horror. I don't think it's a horror.
It's out. It's dude. Beau is Afraid. It's already out in theaters.
Oh, it's out, is it? How was it? Did you see it?
I haven't seen it. It is touted as like sort of like horror-ish elements. I don't think it's. I wouldn't necessarily call it a horror movie, but it's like
right.
People. I think it's referred to as a psychological horror, maybe, but it's
right.
I've heard some mixed stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing it at some point. I probably won't run out to the theater to watch it, but
right. When did it come out?
A couple weeks ago here.
A couple of weeks. It's very quiet. I didn't hear a thing mentioned about it.
It's let's see what its ratings it's getting. Let me see.
No, when you compare it to the likes of Midsommar and Hereditary, when they came out, there was a lot of buzz surrounding both of them movies, but this one I heard nothing.
Let's see. It's 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critic consensus: Beau is Afraid is overstuffed to the point of hold on, goddamn, and enable ads for Rotten Tomatoes is what Rotten Tomatoes is telling me. But I'm saying, fuck you, Rotten Tomatoes. What the shit? Fucking around. All right. Point of erasing the line between self-flagellation and self-indulgence, but Ari Aster's bravura and Joaquin Phoenix's sheer commitment to give this neurotic odyssey undeniable power.
Okay.
Audience says it's very long, very confusing, and definitely not for everyone. But love it or hate it, it's hard not to respect Beau Afraid's ambition.
Right.
And I often like movies like this. You know,
Mm.
personally.
The trailer was very out there. Like, there's no question about it. I didn't even know what to make of the fucking trailer, to be honest. But I was intrigued.
He's got a. Have you seen the strange thing about the Andersons?
No.
It's a short film that Ari Aster did, uh, and it's a short film. I think it's on. You can watch it for free on YouTube.
Right.
And it's not a horror movie, but it's deeply unsettling in a
Oh,
very
really?
weird way. Yeah, in a very weird way.
Right, right, right. He'd want to be a bit careful, that director. I don't know why, but there's just remnants of M. Night Shyamalan about him. That, he started off very strong, and all of a sudden it all started falling apart. Now I'm hoping he doesn't go down that route where he just goes too out there with his movies.
I mean, it's sort of like I sort of view him as a Paul Thomas Anderson type,
Yeah, okay.
not the Event Horizon, but the Boogie
Yeah,
Nights.
yeah.
Yeah, Paul Thomas
That's,
Anderson, where like I think he's got like particular vision. He can be a little self-indulgent, but
mm,
like the films are good films, whether you like them
yeah,
or not.
yeah, absolutely.
Hayden saying strange thing about the Johnsons is so messed up. It is kind of messed up. Uh,
Right, right. I never heard of it.
yeah, it's I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, half hour long or something.
Okay, I'll have a look on YouTube and see. I'll have a look at it later. I will.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't really want to. I don't want to tip the hand at all for it. Check it out.
Yeah,
You'll
okay.
know you'll
Okay.
know pretty early on, like with after the first scene. The first scene starts with. I'll tell you the first sort of set up the first scene. First
Okay.
scene is like this father catches his son masturbating in bed.
Okay.
And his son's like all embarrassed and shit. And he's like, listen, son, he's like, everyone does this. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly natural. You're fine. Don't feel ashamed. It's just shit that happens. And he leaves the room, and then they show the kid, and he's masturbating to a picture of his father. So that's sort of like sets up the story there. Agoraphobe in the house. What's up?
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
Uh,
Right. So yeah. Okay. That'll be an experience,
it's
to
an
say the least.
it's an odd one. But I thought it was actually really good. But anyway, I'm on board for Ari Aster. Haven't seen Beau
Mm,
is Afraid. But I mean, I'm gonna go in with an open mind. I loved Hereditary. I loved
mm.
Midsommar too. But I also don't, just because I'm a fan of his previous work doesn't mean that he can't make something that sucks assholes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, Toby
I
Hooper,
actually
he's
seen
got some ups and downs.
I've seen that movie there for the first time there a couple of months back as well. That movie X. Now I haven't seen Pearl yet,
Pearl's good.
but I really enjoyed that movie. That
X
X
is
movie.
good. Pearl is really good. And Maxine is coming out soon. Ty West is another director I really like.
He seems to be finally breaking through now. He's been around now a while. I remember seeing a movie back in the day from, I think it was called The Innkeepers.
Yeah, he did the
Yeah,
Innkeepers.
I think I'd never seen it was his first movie, House of the Devil. Is that right?
House of the Devil is really good, dude.
Yeah, I'd never seen that now.
Well, no, House of the Devil, I highly recommend House of the Devil. I love that film. But it's another one that's like a slow burn atmospheric
Okay,
film.
okay.
And it feels it's like a throwback movie. It was like probably the first. I mean, people are talking about like these retro movies that are, like 80s, like, I'm so tired of these fucking 80s retro movies. But before any of that happened, like House of the Devil came out, and it looks just like a straight up late 70s, early 80s movie. And it feels that way too.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, X feels very similar.
Yeah, X is
No,
great, man.
X does feel like it has that kind of grimy look that you see from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It just has that feel.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
great.
as a matter of fact, I would love to see Ty West do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie after seeing that movie. I think he could do something good with it. But no, it was very different. I really enjoyed it. There was some scenes in it where, never mind the violent scenes,
Yeah.
but the old couple having sex, I felt like I was watching my parents having sex in front of me. It was just horrible to look at.
Oh,
It
I thought you
was.
were gonna say it was hot. You're like, Alan, we gotta pause this shit. Hold on. This is getting serious up in here.
I need a moment.
Yeah.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I didn't the first time I watched that, dude, I didn't know that Mia Goth was playing both those roles. I didn't know she was the old lady.
Oh really? I no, I didn't think particularly. I didn't think the makeup was that particularly great in that. To be honest, it kind of it's the only thing that threw me off that movie a bit. Is I wasn't convinced by the makeup at all. I knew there was. I didn't know at the time when
Yeah.
we were watching it, but I definitely knew somebody. It wasn't an older woman. Put it that way. It's only then we checked it up at the end of the movie who it actually was.
Yeah, she was excellent in Pearl. Pearl's like a really
Yeah,
strong performance of her.
yeah,
It's a good film. It's quite a bit different than that one. You know, it's more like a character study.
yeah,
But
yeah. Okay.
she was really good in it.
It does seem like it is like again. I haven't seen Pearl, but like I was told, Pearl is something very different to what you've seen with X,
Yeah,
and it does seem like it's going to be a very unique trilogy,
yeah,
which you don't see too often. You know, so it's I'm again. We're just waiting. We're waiting for a Pearl release over here. It hasn't happened yet. I think it's coming out in the next couple of weeks.
oh really?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the only reason why I haven't seen it. So hopefully we'll get that very soon. I really enjoyed X. It's one of them movies again that kind of lived up to the hype.
Yeah, like
Um,
I think like this happened with Black Phone too. Like there, you know, these movies, like
oh,
people keep saying like uh you know, they get a lot of hype and then some people watch them, they're like, oh I don't know, overhyped, whatever, fucking way
mm,
overrated. But it's like you watch it and you're like, it's it's not the greatest thing I've ever seen per se, but it's really fucking good. Like, you know, like a lot of
well,
people are saying like Black Phone, oh, best movie I've seen so far this year. And it's like it might be, you know, I mean, it's hard to say.
Black Phone. I actually did say Black Phone was my favorite film of last year.
It was good.
I loved it. Again, it's one of the movies I can do this sometimes with movies like Black Phone where I can actually distance myself from them, where I
Yeah.
don't watch any trailers. I'm nothing. I almost stay away from any kind of reviews as well. And when we knocked it on, we had no idea what we were getting into, and I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was very clever.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought Ethan Hawke was phenomenal. You know, I think the movie would have lost something if you actually took that mask off and you actually seen him.
Yeah.
You know, it's yeah, it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. Them two, that director and Ethan Hawke, they seem to work well together because
Yeah.
they work together on that Sinister as well,
Sinister
which I
was
rather enjoyed.
Sinister was a surprise for me when I saw it. Talk about expectations. I went in, I thought it was gonna be some cheesy fucking like you know, Blumhouse ghost story type of
Yeah,
situation, but like it
yeah.
was a lot darker than I thought it was going to be, in a good way.
Mm.
And I thought it was much better than I thought it was going to be. So I was impressed
I'll
by
tell you,
it.
there's another movie that I've been watching recently. Again, another one of those movies where I first watched it, I didn't particularly care for it, and it's massively growing on me now. A movie called Demonic.
Oh yeah,
Uh, have you ever seen that Demonic? It's produced by James Wan. I think Frank Grillo stars in it and Maria Bello.
is it the one where they go into like the mind of a sick lady?
No. You're thinking of no. We spoke about this before. That's that fucking Neil Blomkamp movie.
It was called Demonic, wasn't it?
Was it called Demonic as well?
Yeah,
I have it here somewhere.
a young woman unleashes terrifying demons when supernatural forces at the root of decades-old rift between her mother and daughter are ruthlessly revealed.
Right. No, it's not that one. The Neil. It's the what's it called it? The Jason Blum movie, Demonic.
Oh, let's see. What year?
Uh,
2015.
that could be it.
2015, a police officer and a psychologist investigate the death of 5 people who were killed while trying to summon
That's
ghosts.
the one. That's the one.
Okay, I have not
No,
seen that one.
that's massively growing on me, that movie.
Okay.
It's one of those things that it's kind of like it's held in almost 2 time zones where it'll jump to the past, back to the present, jump to the past. You're kind of and it's all building to just give you what exactly happened in this house. You know, there's one survivor. They have him outside the house. They're interrogating him, and the interrogation is then going back to find out what happened inside this house. And it's a good horror movie. I really enjoyed it. Now.
Ooh, I have seen that movie.
You have seen it.
Yeah, they're like interviewing the sole survivor, right?
That's
like
right. Yeah, I think there's a woman still. They can't find the body of a woman.
Right.
I think that's what it was, and they're trying to find out where she is and that, you know. And it's something like that. But I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It's growing on me massively.
I don't remember like I don't remember it super detailed. I remember, well, I mean, obviously I don't, because I don't even remember. Like you said, demonic, and I was like, that one with the sci-fi mind, fucking like Roman Catholic army, like supernatural army thing.
I don't know. I did not. For the life of me, how we finished that movie, I think I should have got a fucking medal for getting through that movie.
Anytime, like, this is just me personally. Anytime you're watching a movie and all of a sudden they're like, oh, the Vatican sent us, and they pull out some like paramilitary like crosses and get all geared up and shit. You're like, okay, come on, guys.
Actually, just speaking of the Vatican, there, like, I've been told by a few people that the Exorcist Pope, what's it called, the Exorcist Pope, or I've been hearing actually fairly solid things about that movie.
I've heard some mixed stuff. I've heard some people say, yeah, it was pretty good. And I've heard other people say it was like the biggest piece of shit ever.
Oh, really? Wow. Everything I've heard now has all been good.
I haven't seen it, so I can't really say.
No, I'll wait till it comes out. As a matter of fact, I think it actually done very well in the box office. I'm almost certain it's gotten greenlit for a sequel. So they were very satisfied by it.
Gorophobe saying he still hasn't seen Evil Dead Rise yet. We were talking about it earlier. It's worth going and checking out in the theater, dude. It's a good one.
Absolutely.
It's one of Keith's favorite in the whole franchise. We ranked it.
No, that wasn't my favorite.
No, one of your favorites.
Oh, one of my. Sorry. I thought you said it was my favorite. Yeah, it's number 3 for me.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me. Yeah, it's a wonderful. Like, again, going back to it, it's a wonderful franchise. It's and that's including the TV show.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, you know, you feel like almost if you rank something lower than one of the other films, or not to diminish that movie, they're all fucking good, man. Like, what are you gonna do? You know, like
I said, we were just talking about there. Where for the life of me, I actually was sitting here for like 10 minutes trying to think of a franchise that's as consistent as it. I can't think of one. I honestly can't.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, every film amazing. Now I will say this about Evil Dead franchise. I like pretty much all the movies, and like that is the franchise that taught me to go into movies with low expectations. So like
there we go.
Like, you know, you learn certain life lessons along the way. One of them was when The Next Generation came out, because I loved the first 3 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. And then I was like, oh shit, they're coming out with a new one like back in the 90s. And I was like, oh dude, I can't wait. And then I watched it. I was like, what in the fuck just happened, guys? like my heart is broken.
No, the Texas Chainsaws are gone that way now, where it's almost like there's a pattern now with them where it's almost like they bring out a good sequel, and then all of a sudden you get a real bad movie. And I actually didn't mind the latest one. Like, I actually really enjoyed it.
I didn't either, because I've learned my lesson. I was like, I'm not going to get too excited. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm going to go in with very modest expectations. And like, I was like, great, man. It was in Texas. There was a chainsaw massacre. What more do you want? You know, like,
absolutely.
The thing that's great about that movie is everyone wanted to draw comparisons to Halloween 2018 with Laurie Strode, and Sally Hardesty. And then everyone
Nah.
also simultaneously was like, "Oh, great, another movie trying to fucking capitalize on Halloween remake or sequel." And then they're like, "But that movie sucked because Sally Hardesty wasn't fucking Laurie Strode." And you're like, "Make up your fucking mind, people."
Yeah, I never went into that movie thinking that way.
I didn't
It's
either. And
that's absolutely ludicrous. That is. I
a
took it
lot,
for what it was, which was a fun, like you said.
yeah,
It had a great setting. The setting of the movie was fantastic. I loved it.
yeah.
Really enjoyed it. So that means we're due a bad movie for the next one. So brace yourself for it.
I mean, according to a lot of people, we're in for a good one because a lot of
Oh
people
well,
hated that movie.
that's a fair comment. That's fair. What did you think of then? The prequel to the remake, the beginning,
It's one of my least favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Of course, my
right?
absolute least favorite. I think we're on board with this. Maybe not you because I know that you don't love all the same movies the way I do. But
You're right.
that Leatherface prequel,
Yeah, I'm with you on that
yeah,
one.
yeah, that's my least favorite in the franchise.
Yeah, I was like, what? This fella here was actually meant to be Leatherface? Really?
Yeah, I saw the red herring a mile away, and the whole time it just didn't feel like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's a very nice Turbine Steel book that I have of it, but
I have the same one.
I know you do.
Where do you think I got the fucking idea from? You.
But that movie is my least favorite, and then the prequel, the beginning, which I think a lot of people like, is my second least favorite. So as far as ranking goes, that's second. Yeah, I didn't like it as much as the remake at all.
Which one?
The
That was the
beginning,
beginning. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I've only ever seen the beginning once. I honestly can't remember. I can't remember it. I can't. I know Joanna Brewster, I think, was in it.
yeah,
That's
she
the only
was.
person I get. Yeah, but I honestly can't remember the movie. Actually, to tell you the truth, I'm actually due a revisit of that latest Texas Chainsaw. I was on YouTube today, and I actually came across the ending of that movie, and I was like, wow, I really must
The
check out
ending's
that movie
great,
again.
dude. The ending's
Fucking red,
the
very
ending's
surprising.
and it's a great homage to the first film too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
super good. I think a lot of people don't understand how technology works because they're like, fucking cars can't drive themselves. And you're like, dude, that car can legitimately do what it just did.
absolutely.
Like, that's not sci-fi, dude. Like
I tell
that
you,
is a thing. That's
the,
reality.
the, the things that people fucking nitpick at, it's ridiculous. They have this fucking fella with a chainsaw fucking slaughtering everybody, but oh no, let's
Yeah.
fixate on the fucking car that's moving by itself.
I
It's
know.
it's just fucking laughable. It is.
Or the
The
Sally
thing.
thing. And I like that Sally came I like that she her whole story arc was like all these years since the first movie, like 74, all these years she's been like obsessed with this night of her life. And then
Yeah,
she meets Leatherface, and Leatherface is like, that was just Saturday night. I don't even know who the fuck you were. Like I like that sort of like, to me, that was really interesting. It was
they
like,
kind of they kind of tried to do something similar to that with Halloween Kills, where I think it was the sheriff in it. He turned around and he said that it's nothing to do with you. He actually tried to say it to Laurie in it.
yeah,
And all that. Laurie kept saying that the two don't have this connection. And I
yeah,
think the sheriff said there's absolutely nothing to do with you. And
yeah.
all that. You're just somebody that's in his way. And all that, And
You got
I kind of like
dropped
that.
off
I did.
into your house like by Sartoris or whatever, right? Like it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I kind of like that. I like the way they done that in that movie.
Because that's exactly how life is. Like these moments that are like big defining traumas in your life are just like they mean
There's
nothing
nothing.
to anyone else. It's just like,
Absolutely.
you know, it's a
Yeah,
big deal for
absolutely.
you, but like, for whoever else that did it or whatever, it was just like another thing. They don't even remember you. It's like,
Yeah. Actually, that Halloween Kills has gone that bad for me now. I actually can't remember the ending of it. I actually prefer. I keep watching the director's cut that came with that 4K release of it because I think it's far better. And I think the ending is fucking much better as well on that. And I actually got to the point now where I actually cannot remember the theatrical ending for the second one.
the second movie.
Yeah, Halloween Kills. I actually can't remember it's the proper ending to it. I honestly cannot remember. All I can think about is the ending, the director's cut of it. I think it's far better. where
What?
she's on the phone. She's on the phone to Michael.
Yeah, I guess that's the only ending I remember.
Oh right, yeah. So you've only seen the director's cut then as well since
Well,
the
I think I saw. I don't know.
yeah. I can't. That's what I'm saying. I can't remember it.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Another big complaint I heard from a lot of people was like, "Oh, dude, gas gets old. Like that gas wouldn't work in the fucking chainsaw." It's like that's your problem here. And I like after hearing a few people say that because I watched it when it first the night it came out. I watched it on Netflix and it was late at night and I had closed captioning on, so I didn't have to have it up super loud. And there when she's like under the bed, right? There's all the closed captioning is like you hear screws turning, you hear gas pouring into chainsaw. It's just like all these things. And so like I like made like these little panels with all the closed captionings. I'm like, there you go, motherfucker. Like
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
your
Yeah.
critique, like out the window. He fucking tuned that shit up before he fucking read it.
Oh, okay. I just it's when you see that kind of nitpicking kind of crap going on, normally you do see it on a movie that just gets so much, a movie that gets so much love that people almost hate it. So
Yeah.
they just try and find the smallest fucking things to nitpick at. I don't understand why. My God, just fucking leave the movie alone.
Uh,
Fucking hell.
Hayden is saying the theatrical was Karen's death and then just cut to the credits before the phone scene.
Ah, right. Again, I honestly can't even remember.
Let's see. Looking back through here, Dylan from Thumbo Cinema saying, I still just don't trust Haley Joel Osment. Have you seen Tusk, though? He was very trustworthy in that one. Have you seen Tusk, Keith?
Tusk. No, I haven't seen it.
You should watch Tusk. I'll be interested to see what you think of it. I actually really like that movie.
I know of the movie. Again, it's one of them movies that's kind of just passed me.
It's got like a it's Kevin Smith, right? And it's got a
Okay.
really interesting story on how it came to be in existence.
Okay.
But the acting in it from the what's his name? Hold on, let me just see the actor's name. I always associate him sort of with like Quentin Tarantino. Michael Parks.
Oh, Michael Parks is in it. Okay.
Yeah, he does
Right.
he has does a really good job in it. And then of course, Homeboy. I'm so bad with names, especially when I'm trying to Justin Long was also very good in it.
Oh, Justin Long. Okay, I'm actually kind of like Justin Long.
But Haley Joel Osment was also in it. And
Wow.
can't trust that piece of shit.
Right.
That guy sees dead people. Dude, Tusk. I like Tusk quite a bit. Tusk is
Right.
maybe not for everyone, but you should watch it and let me know what you thought of it.
Well, it's one of the movies. Again, I remember when it came out. I was actually on numerous streams, everyone talking about it. It's one of the movies. I don't know why. I'm not prone against watching it. It's just one of the movies that, just like I said, it's just passed me by. I need to check. I'm sure it's out there. You can buy it physically, so I must look into it.
Yeah. It's on one of the streaming services I have. I know you're like you don't. Do you do any streaming?
No, I won't support it. I honestly won't support it. I won't. People are saying it to me before, like we're kind of saying what happens if Disney don't bring out any more physical releases, and I'm like, oh well, and it's not means you don't get to see Avatar or Star Wars, or I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm not supporting any of that shit. I hate it. I do. I just I don't care if I lose out. I lose out. There's actually a movie coming out that I'm going to miss out on. That's actually killing me. But I'm not going to get it on streaming. If I get a bootleg of edition of it, I'll watch it then. But Beverly Hills Cop 4, yeah. That's coming out on Netflix, I think it is. So
okay.
I'm going to be missing out on that movie.
How did you see Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022?
I got a download of it.
Oh, okay, that's streaming-ish, right?
That was a USB stick someone gave me, and that was it. I don't pay for streaming services. I won't do it.
Yeah,
And I'm not criticizing people. It's me. It's they're slowly killing physical media, and as you can see, I massively support physical media. So I'm just against anything that's killing it.
I mean, it's interesting because like I stopped collecting physical media for like 10 years almost.
Really?
Yeah, and just was streaming uh during that time. And
Right.
this was before like a lot of online communities and stuff. So like, most people don't really understand if you like horror movies. They're not like, oh yeah, you're just a dude that likes horror movies. They're like, what the fuck is wrong with you, you fucking weirdo? And then you're like, oh shit, I kind of own like 800 horror movies or something. You're just like, okay, I'm like depressed enough. I don't need fucking any further judgment. I got Netflix. I can fucking, and this was back also Netflix, did physical media discs. It was
Mhm.
great back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And what brought you back then?
I think it was sort of like watching, well, I was broke for a number of years too, right? So
Right.
like uh even when I was broke, Blockbuster was still around. I go buy like movies from Blockbuster,
Okay.
because they were cheap back in the day. Like I have a lot of DVDs with a little Blockbuster sticker on them.
Oh
Um,
wow. Okay.
but Blockbuster went out of business pretty much, and then like I was just broke, and I was like, okay, I don't have a lot of money to spend. And then I got changed my career, so then I had some money.
And now
And
you're
then I was
making up for all them years.
making up for all them years, and like, yeah, I mean, I always lived within my means. So I was broke as shit for a lot of years. Like I
Mm.
didn't have a motorcycle either for like a decade or something.
Wow. Wow.
Um, and of course now I had four. One got stolen.
That's
But
all. I was just going to ask you about that. What happened then? Did you ever find out what happened or
I saw
no?
like a shitty ring cam picture of some dude like walking it out of my backyard. So
Wow.
no resolution. I keep trying to, I'm still like, I'm going to Hawaii later this month. So like I'm there's a few like big things that I'm gonna buy, but I don't want to do it until I get back. So I'm just gonna be here. Um
Right. Right. It's
uh
like I think I remember. I think you said that on a stream one night about the bike.
yeah, so
And I think Ellen was watching it, and she was absolutely just bemused. Well, not bemused. She was amazed. Sorry, by your reaction to it, where it was like, "Fuck it, I'll buy another one." So it's a look. We've always said it with yourself, Ben. You always put a positive spin on any kind of bad situation. So
you have to, dude. It didn't, I mean, I love that bike. It was super fun to ride. It was really cool.
mm.
Like but
Was that the bike you were doing the videos on? Remember you?
I've done it on the KTM. The first motovlog stuff was on the KTM, but I've also done a
Right,
bunch on the Harley.
right, okay, okay,
And it was the KTM that was still on the fast bike.
right, right, right.
But I mean, what can you do? Like it's a thing. It got stolen. It sucks, but the only thing you can do when shit like that happens is just accept it. For like being pissed off and bummed out about it, it doesn't really get you much. So it's like,
No, no.
you know.
And so, what did you do with the other bike then? Have you got that kind of like secured away now?
It's closer, like the KTM. I live in a fourplex basically, so it's four apartments in this house.
Hmm.
Uh, and so like I have a parking spot in the backyard, and
Okay,
I park one of my bikes underneath a porch over here, like right near my stairs, back stairs.
right.
So that's where the Harley is, and the KTM was just parked sort of visible in my spot, but it was visible from the street.
Ah,
Um,
shit. Right, right,
and
right.
like the Night of the Living Dead bust, uh
Oh wow, yeah. You had that stolen as well.
that got stolen from me too. And then I was just like, fuck, and I got another one, because what are you gonna do?
Unbelievable. I actually, I never actually spoke to you about that. Actually, funny enough. when you got that bust. How did you find it? What did you think of it?
It's cool. Like this was another thing. Like I'm doing some reorganizing. I put like this second shelf up here, and
Very
then
nice.
I got a bunch of stuff out. But there's a bunch of stuff that I just have had without a home. So I haven't even actually opened that. It's in the kitchen.
Wow.
So, yeah, I haven't opened it. And I have
Wow.
like, let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Oh, this will suck. But I'm gonna try to do a. I want to give you the full tour, but I will.
Oh, nice. Okay. Great. Yeah. Great.
I just built another one of these shelves here.
Oh, lovely display case. Nice.
So I got 4 of these now, and I have a spot for the bust, but I haven't put it in there yet.
Be fucking careful. That thing is heavy.
Yeah, I'll put on the lower shelf maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Or you know how it is. I don't have a ginormous apartment or anything, so like, maybe I'll put some and a lot. I collect a lot of Godzilla shit. Those Godzilla figures, the little Death for Real ones, fit in there pretty well, but like this shit doesn't fit in there, dude. Like,
oh Jesus, no!
One of those detolfs, it's just got a big ass long tail and everything.
I tell you one thing, you might struggle getting that Night of the Living Dead edition into that.
Don't you have in one of those cases?
I do have in one of the cases, but I tell you, it's in and it's no more. There's no room for it to move.
Yeah.
I only just got it in, but again, like I'm telling you to keep it down low, but my one is actually quite high. And I'm like literally like crossing my fingers that it doesn't fall through someday. And bear in mind as well that this is my movie room as well. This is where we view the movies.
Sure.
So there's a lot of shaking going on in this room when it comes to my sound system. So I'm just hoping one day we're not going to be sitting here and all of a sudden I just hear a big crash behind me. Sorry.
That might happen. I know a lot of people who've had detolfs just break like in the middle of the night.
I know. I honestly don't know what to do with them. If I take them out, there's nowhere I can put them. They're too fucking big. It's actually sitting. My wrong turn bust is actually under it.
Okay.
So if it did break, it's going right down on top of that. So
just put the silent trigger bust under it, dude. You'll be fine.
Someone actually brought that up. Someone actually left a comment there. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
And someone said to me, "I noticed you have the silent trigger bust in your room." And I was like, "Yeah." And we're like, "What's it like?" And I was like, "You know what? It's out of all my pieces, it's the one item that I never look at."
Yeah.
In my room, I even now I'm kind of sitting here and I'm like, "Why the fuck did I buy it?" It's just not a great. I don't know what it is. I don't like the bust.
I mean, it's one of these things though. Like you collect all the nameless stuff, right? And like for me too, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get into these nameless busts. I don't know. That's one is available. I can pick that one up, but it's like, nah, I'll wait. Maybe.
I have a funny feeling. That when you see the Terrifier one, you might consider getting it.
I mean, I might. I have the Waxwork one.
Oh, you do have the Waxwork?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Oh, you got that one. Oh, you did, Joe. That's right. I forgot you got that one. Yeah, that's actually a lovely piece. I love that one. I do.
And I love that movie. Like, I've never seen Silent Trigger, so like,
Oh, I still haven't seen it.
I don't know how many times I own Maniac. I know I have probably at least 5 different Maniac media books.
Wow.
Do I? Let's see. Wait, I got.
Did you get the bust of it then?
I don't have the bust, but that's the one I sort of regret not getting because I was like,
right.
Get this.
Right, Jason. That was. I seen that bust. I actually seen that go down to €90, believe it or not.
Yeah, I would if I saw it for €90, I'd pick it up now. I have a snow globe, a Maniac snow globe. Are you?
I actually like that one. I actually like that. That's a nice one. No, it's after me. I'm actually kind of ecstatic now that I have that Child's Play one coming. It's been my channel used to specialize
Yeah.
on busts when I first. That's it's the reason why my channel is as big as it is. So to actually be able to get a bust, it's been a long time. I think it's the Amityville Horror was the last bust edition that I got. So, but this is the first nameless media now I've gotten in years. So can't wait to get my hands on it. I hope nothing's fucking wrong with it. I hope that I open it up when I get it through the door and it's like a fucking just a plastic doll sitting
Now,
in a fucking box.
do you have like 7,000 subscribers now or some shit?
Yeah, I'm making my way to 8,000.
That's a lot, dude. Congratulations.
No, it's I don't know what happened. I don't know. It's a strange thing. It can be a little intimidating. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Where I was kind of putting out videos where you kind of put them out and you don't really care about what people think about them.
Yeah.
But now you're kind of starting to think. That's why I kept saying to you, I don't know what way to do that Texas Chainsaw video because I don't know what way it'll be received. Now all of a sudden you're thinking about
Yeah.
things being received and how you're kind of just being careful. Put it that way.
Well, because you're
Uh,
also, I mean, well, you're very interactive with your comment section, so like you have to interact with these
oh,
people. So like,
it's absolute key. I think it's if you want a successful YouTube channel, I think I think interaction is the key to it.
oh,
I think
yes.
it really does help. It does.
I
But
think you have to. I think if you're, I mean, I don't. People define success in different ways, but I think if you're a likable dude that interacts with people, then you're. I mean, this isn't this isn't from my experience or anything, but I think in your experience, I think it's served your channel very well.
well, no, interaction is very important. Let's face
Yeah.
it. If I didn't interact, chances are I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. So we're all doing it.
Yeah.
It's I've gotten to meet I've gotten a lot of great friends from YouTube now
Yeah.
that I talk to very very regularly. So it's and I was actually that was great to actually hear from you. Like it was it's the only problem I find with YouTube is actually trying to keep up with everyone.
You can't.
It's very very hard. I'm not going to lie. And then all of a sudden, just like yourself, it's kind of like wow, I actually haven't spoken to Ben now in months.
Yeah.
And Cody even went that way. Funny enough, when you messaged me there the other day, I was actually just talking to Cody, and it was a while since I spoke to Cody. He was actually just telling me about his he got his new OLED television, and he actually had a great sound system as well. So I can imagine the fun that man's going through at the moment.
He upgraded from not even having like standard definition. He didn't even have 4K. Yeah.
No, it's like never mind like not even having 4K, but he's gone from like just like whatever TV he had, like 1080p. It's one thing going from 1080p to 4K, but going to 4K and OLED.
Dude, he had a 19-inch CRT No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He had a black and white travel television. That's all he had. A little Walkman
with the big fucking big knobs on it.
It was a hand crank. Yeah.
And the remote control was around that size.
Yeah, exactly. The remote
so
control
I can imagine the fun. I can imagine the fun that he's going through at the moment. I say he's having a great time.
Yeah.
Because that's what I done when I got the Sony 4K in here. All you wanted to do is go back over your favorites. It's a great time. It's the minute I got this TV, I just looked at it and I was like, Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 3 has been watched tonight.
Yeah.
And then next week we're gonna, get in some of the other Carpenter, the Fog, the Thing, all them, just seeing them. It's almost like watching them for the first time. It's just it's an incredible gift.
Yeah.
And so I can only imagine what Cody's going through at the moment. Like it's one thing to have the picture, but to have the sound to go with it.
Yeah, it's a big upgrade.
What a big upgrade. Again, I must actually message him and find out how he's getting on.
I think he's been enjoying it.
I imagine he would be, because I know the TV he got, and it's a serious TV.
I keep meaning to get a TV, and I've been using. I like back in the 90s. I had like a real fancy home theater system, like 5.1.
Right.
Because I was building like high-end audio equipment, so I was just like piecing my shit together, and it was like dope as shit. But when I moved here to go to school, I sold my motorcycle. I didn't have any of that shit. And so I haven't had like any kind of like home theater setup. I just have stereo speakers. That's all I've
Right.
had for
Wow.
years.
Wow. Wow. Right. You see, I said this uh, again. I was only just talking to someone before I came on here with you. I was just talking about that Texas Chainsaw movie, and I was just saying about the atmos in that movie and how, because it's such a fucking loud movie, it just started kind of irritating me. Now, I've never said it in a video, but I don't think people realize that the sound system that I have in this room, I'm not going to lie, it would light up a cinema.
Yeah.
This sound system. Now, this sound system is sitting in a room that's 13 foot by 11 foot.
Yeah.
So when things get loud in here, they get fucking loud. Now, people would say, "Why don't you just turn it down?" I was like, "Well, I don't want to. I don't have to. I don't want to have to turn it down."
Yeah.
It's just the Texas Chainsaw, whatever it was with that movie, it just wow, it just rang through my ears. It did, and I think no matter how much I turn it down, I still think it was going to just ring through my ears. It was just it's a loud movie. It is. My God, that one is a serious set of lungs, you know?
Yeah. That scene is fucking hectic, dude. The dinner
Yeah,
scene.
yeah, yeah. It's. I said it to someone. I think there was one scene in it where it was Leatherface running after her through the woods, and I just looked at Ellen, and Ellen was like, "I was like, I can't fucking hear," and I've gone deaf from the noise of it. And that scene, it was just so brutal for sound, where it was like the chainsaw was just rattling like fuck. She was screaming. There was music playing through it, and not only that, there was this big humming bass going through the scene as well. And it was very hard to sit here and listen to it. It was just I never witnessed anything like it. It's a strange movie. It is. And I think that's what was irritating me about it.
And that has that sound effect, dude, the famous Texas Chainsaw Massacre sound effect that people associate with a flash, but it has nothing to do with like a flash, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and then at the dinner scene, it's just like, wah, 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 it's just like nonstop. It's fucking hectic, dude. But that's the beauty of it.
That's it. You know, it's just it's hard in this room. Put it that way. If you're sitting here beside me, listening to it, I think you might understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Especially in this how small this room is with this sound system. Like we watched the MonsterVerse movies. There just recently, and I said to Ellen, "I'm telling you now, every fucking shelf is going to come down in this fucking room." And when we were watching it, all I kept doing was looking behind me, hoping that my display cases wouldn't come down. And I think that the fact that they didn't, I should be okay. I can't think of any other movie that I could knock on that could shake a room as much as them movies did.
Yeah.
Particularly that first Godzilla movie. Holy fuck. It's insane. It is. So I'm hoping I'm okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, you know, I I live upstairs, so I have downstairs neighbors. So I'm
Yeah,
always
yeah.
like pretty like I watch movies late at night and I don't want to crank them up super loud or anything.
Of course, of course. Yeah, like
Um,
that's why we got this pod. We're the same. We were too self conscious with our neighbors. You know,
oh, you
we
said that
needed that.
too. Like when I first started singing, I was like singing like this. So I was like, I don't want anyone to hear me, blah 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 blah. And now
Yeah,
I'm just fucking like belting shit out, and I'm like, I think the whole neighborhood can hear it. And I like sometimes like there was some point where I was like, fuck, dude. I was upstairs. I was walking quilted down the street, and I left my phone upstairs, and my alarm was going off on the phone. And I was like,
right.
what the fuck? I can hear my alarm from down the street. I'm
Oh
so
wow! I
embarrassed
don't
for
believe you.
people hearing me sing like this whole
Oh,
time. But then I was just
yeah.
like, fuck it, like whatever. I embrace it. And now I just don't give a fuck.
Wow.
Which
Wow.
means I stop every night at 9 p.m., but I'll belt out whatever, dude. I'll be singing I'll be singing like I'll Always Love You or some crazy fucking cheesy fucking song just at the top of my lungs. I'm like, fuck you guys, man. It's the middle of the day. Sorry.
No, you know what? We were like that as well. We were kind of, when we were in the house, we, just like yourself, you know, we wanted our movies, we wanted to hear our movies, we wanted to fucking enjoy them.
Yeah.
But when it hit a certain time, like 9 o'clock, we respectfully turned things down. But unfortunately, it wasn't good enough for our fucking neighbors. No, they wanted it. If we were watching a movie at like 7, they wanted it fucking down. They didn't want to entertain it. And it just got out of fucking hand. I nearly broke that fucking woman's leg.
Yeah.
She came in. She came out. She actually came to my door, and she was absolutely. She's a horrible piece of fucking work, but she really started giving out. And she stuck her leg at the door. I tried to close the door, and she stuck her leg to stop me. And when she put her fucking leg on my property, I went ape shit, and I just grabbed the door and I fucking crushed her leg. And
There's
I'm
a,
telling you now, I'm almost certain I heard a crunch.
there's
I
a
did. I
lot
was
of
actually half
places.
expecting. Hmm?
There's a lot of places in America where you could have just shot her in the face and been justified or whatever.
So no, it was that. In a weird kind of way, as silly as this fucking sounds, but you almost have to thank her as well, because if she didn't do that, I probably wouldn't have this.
Yeah.
So in a weird kind of way, you kind of have to thank her.
Yeah.
It's great now coming in here to get that peace of mind, and we've never had one complaint since we've been in here. So
That you broke her
uh,
leg. I'm just kidding. That bitch hasn't hobbled her way over since.
I'll tell you the funny thing about it is I actually met her husband the next day, and he had a big smile for me.
Yeah.
So something's telling me he was in the house trying to tell her not to come in here.
Yeah. He probably was like, I'm so sorry, dude. Now you
Yeah.
see why I broke her leg that one time. I'm just kidding.
He's a wonder he didn't come up and fucking shake my hand. But I'm not proud of what I done. At the end of the day, it is a woman. It's just when she stuck her foot on my property, I reacted. I
I
did.
mean, yeah, it's crossing a line, like you can't
Across the
physically
line.
invade someone's personal
Like
space for no good
it
reason.
is one of them things. I'm not going to lie that when I did it, it was instant regret. You know what I mean? It was like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be a tough man and say, oh, I felt great after. I instantly regretted it.
Yeah,
I did.
I don't think I would have been able to do that. I don't handle situations like I'm not an aggressive dude, but like I'm sure
Yeah.
if I had just gotten into that like mode, I would have felt terrible if I had done that too.
No, I did. I'm not going to lie. I did. And the weird thing was, normally it was Ellen. Ellen would deal with her.
Yeah.
It was just this one night where I just got so fucking pissed off, and I was like, I'm going to the door. And I went to the door, and we were
You're like, Ellen,
kind
come
of
here,
having.
close this bitch's leg in the door real quick.
No,
That's her department, yeah.
I kept trying to shut the door, because I wanted to end the conversation, but she kept putting her hand out and stopping me.
Yeah.
And then I started kind of trying to forcefully close the door, and then she just kept pushing it open. And then I think it was the 5th time she put her leg in, and I just reacted to it. And I still feel bad about it.
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing to do. I shouldn't have done it. I was wrong. But again, it got me this room, so.
You live and you learn, dude. You haven't
You
done it
live and you
since,
learn.
right?
It's, never happened. And the weird thing, we've never had any kind of confrontations with them since. So, the husband gets on well with us. He always has a lovely smile for us every time we wake up when we leave the house and all that. It's just she's just a miserable, horrible person. She's just one of them people that thrives on misery. You can tell by her and all that, So, but like I said, it's like we got what we wanted in the end. So it's a win in the end.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, I can only imagine what you're like now over there. So when you're actually in your apartment, can you hear them downstairs? Can you hear them through your?
I had one neighbor who I could hear. They were loud as shit, and I could hear them.
Right.
But I've lived in this apartment. I've had probably I can't even hazard a guess exactly, but somewhere between 7 and 10 neighbors live below me in that apartment over the years.
Right.
And I've only had that one shitty neighbor.
Right. Okay.
So.
Right. And did you ever think about ever moving or?
Yeah, but we have rent control here in the Bay Area. It's expensive out here, dude. It's like San Francisco Bay Area, a house will cost you $1 million. So
fucking hell.
like, and I have rent. I've been in this apartment since maybe for 20 years or so. So my rent
Wow.
is real cheap, uh,
Right, right.
relatively speaking.
Mm,
But I'm also not broke as hell anymore. So sometimes I'm like, well, maybe I should just buy a place or something, like. Uh,
right.
so I do think about moving from time to time, more like buying a place rather than like renting another apartment. But
Would you like to kind of go out into the country? Would you like to stay in the city? What way would you be?
well, I love my job, so like I need to, but I also have like it's like a 90-mile round trip commute. Um,
Wow,
but
Jesus,
but my job is in Silicon Valley, so like the one place that might be more expensive than living out here is over there. So like,
absolutely.
um, uh, I never really I like where Oakland's a great city, man. It's
Yeah, yeah.
beautiful. There's like it's something for everyone. There's hills, there's urban environments, there's
Nice, nice.
it's great. It's like 10 minutes from it's just like right on the other side of the bridge from San Francisco. So it's like
Wow.
it's beautiful out here. So
I
I
say
never
it's a
really sorry, go on.
I say it's a lovely. I love it. I say it's a lovely drive to work every day. Would it?
It used to be, the shop used to be in San Francisco, and it
Right,
was like 15 minutes. It's basically 12 miles away from where I live. And it
right.
was beautiful driving over the bridge every time into San
Oh
Francisco and
wow.
back. But now I work in Mountain View. Uh, so the commute is not beautiful because I just take the shortest route, which is some
Okay.
shitty freeways. There's one part where I cross the San Francisco Bay because you basically have
Wow.
to cross the bay, to get over there. But
Right.
and that's usually pretty.
I remember you took a picture. You took a picture you put on Instagram there a while back, and it was just I think it was just a picture of San Francisco. I think it was. Am I right in saying that it was absolutely fucking beautiful? I
I
think you
did.
were obviously on your bike.
Oh, I did a video riding across the Bay Bridge to San Francisco.
Right, it was a video. I'm almost certain. I remember you did put up a picture. I showed it to Ellen, and she was like, "Jesus Christ, that's what he gets to see every time he goes to work."
Yeah,
It was this beautiful shot. It was absolutely gorgeous.
yeah. I mean, it's beautiful out here, man. Even the like sort of the more outlying areas. I mean, like if you go
Mm,
up north, you get like the fog, right? Because it's like Point Reyes
yeah,
where it's filmed and shit. Um, and then if you go over here slightly south, you get Lost Boys because Santa Cruz is right over there.
unbelievable. Jesus Christ,
And the whole
unbelievable.
whole span between Lost Boys and the fog is beautiful. So what are you gonna do?
Unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
I can't complain.
Um,
The commute kind of sucks, but yeah, I mean, I've lived in this apartment a long time, like, and I like during COVID, I started reorganizing shit, and then I got kind of depressed and stuff, and then like it just got chaotic in here, dude. So
really?
I'm like now I'm actually reorganizing shit. Like I built some new shelves and stuff. You saw that.
Yeah.
Um, it's still like there's some stuff around, I haven't like I'm in the midst of it, but
And
I'm
what was depressing you, Ben? If you don't mind me asking.
I mean, well, there was, I mean, the whole COVID shit. Like, I live alone.
Right.
I live completely alone with my dog, so I
Right.
was isolated for a number of years.
Mm,
And during that time, I had like a breakup with someone that wasn't great, and then I was just completely isolated. And like, every year I go down to Southern California with my family. I didn't do that for like 2 years, and it was just like this
wow.
weird shit. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I did manage to keep myself from really getting depressed because like when I really get depressed, I really get fucking depressed.
Yeah.
But so I didn't really like fall down that low. Uh,
Right.
but I
You see,
also, yeah, it's just
no, we were never in that situation with COVID. Me and Alan were at our busiest, believe it or not, when COVID hit. Our work never stopped like the rest of the country did. We could still keep working, and
yeah,
it became incredibly busy. So we didn't have that whole have to deal with isolation. There was only, I think it was 1 week we had to do it, and I'm not going to lie. Uh, when it lost its luster after at the end of that week, we were just kind of, I need to get back to fucking work.
Dude, we
You
did.
know, it
It
just
was fucking weird here, dude. Like San Francisco, big metropolitan area.
mm,
Like it was like Day of the Dead level weird, dude. Like yeah, I drove across the Bay Bridge. I was literally the only person on the Bay Bridge. I was like, this is
we
like
fucking
an apocalypse.
we fucking did it. We did. See, the thing is, over here, I don't know if it happened with yous, but they put fucking checkpoints over here in Ireland where, there could be just random checkpoints. And if you leave your county, you could be just sent back. So there was one night we were just so bored, and I said, look, let's go to Northern Ireland, which is around an hour's drive from where we live. And I never seen anything like it. We just drove into Northern Ireland, this big city. And me and Ellen we were the only people. We were the only car. And I said, Ellen, we need to get the fuck out of here quickly. Get home. Because if anyone's, it won't be that hard to see us.
Yeah.
We're the only people fucking driving a car. So it was an experience. But I remember us speaking about that before. You were kind of saying that you were almost enjoying the driving on your bike with little to no traffic.
It was the actual like process of commuting was great.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
it's picked up. It's not quite as bad as it was.
Right.
Because it used to be real heavy traffic. And of course I'm on the motorcycle, so it's lane splitting, but it's hectic,
Right.
People are used to
Yeah.
people up here are really great with motorcycles, so people
Oh,
will
very good.
sometimes like scoot over and give you room and stuff, and you'll say, hey, thanks
Oh,
a
very
lot.
good. You wouldn't get that over here.
There's a lot of places, yeah, you don't get that, but like
No.
the Bay Area in particular is real good like that. But
Right.
it's still hectic, I've been hit a few times and it's just never great.
Right.
And so like but that whole time I was working, I mean, the company I work for, it's a
Yeah, of
big
course.
company, dude, and like
Massive.
and I work in like the secret lab part of it, which is like talking about fucking shopping mall, dude. We literally have robots. Our campus used to be a shopping mall.
Oh, wow.
It got
Fucking hell.
converted. Yeah, we bought them all and got converted it into like this fucking secret lab area, and we literally have robots rolling around there. It's like the perfect shopping mall scenario. But during COVID, like it was basically I was the only person there because I went in real weird hours.
Yeah.
And like it would just be like imagine walking around a shopping mall doing your job. It'd be fucking weird, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Surreal, dude, because it used to be like a lot of people there, everyone walking around, pretty social environment, we had
Mm.
cafes and all that stuff. And like, it was just weird for like a year or so. Like,
Yeah. I don't want to sound bad or nothing like that, but it's when things start getting back to normal, I kind of started missing it. I kind of missed the quietness of it all.
dude, that's
I
the
did.
beauty. That's the beauty of how human memory, like the worst, like even if I think back to those times when I was like really depressed for like a decade, like I'm like,
Mm.
oh, the good old days, that's just how we work. Like this moment right here, you'll be like in 20 years, like you're like, let's say you like leave your pod today and you stub your toe and like break your ankle or some shit. You're like, oh, this is the worst day I've had in a long time. In 20
Yeah.
years, you're gonna wish that you had like a broken ankle and you were in your, like you were
Absolutely.
young again, right? Like,
Absolutely.
gotta
And
just
I'm just sorry, just out of curiosity, Ben. What's the nightlife like over there? Is it? Do you find yourself going out? Do you go out much? I know you don't drink, but do you find yourself going out much, or
I
any of
don't
that kind of stuff?
nightlife is it's good. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but I'm also not like a nightlife type of dude.
Okay.
Like it's not like I'm not like a social dude, but I'm not like a go to the club type of type of
I
guy. Like,
get
let's
it.
go fucking dancing, and I'll drink like a fucking
Fuck
like
that,
a
man. That's
Shirley
that's that's a
Temple.
young man's fucking game. I'm not able for that. And all that. If I fucking watch a movie with people going to fucking nightclubs, it's exhausting. You
And
know,
yeah,
it's I just find it. I find the whole. My brothers still do it. I actually have brothers that are older than me, and they're still living that nightlife. I don't know how to fucking do it. I can't. I think it's a single man's game.
yeah.
You
I
know,
think
I'm in like I've been with Ellen now for Jesus 28 years. And I don't miss it. You know, I don't miss the nightlife. It's I prefer this, but it definitely is a single man's game.
yeah, I think like after all the lockdown and shit, you know, like I basically stayed sane by hanging out like on streams and stuff with my friends from
Yeah.
coast to coast and whatnot and chatting with people. Um, that was because like I just didn't see anybody. And then like I met a lot of people on Instagram and I made some good friends on Instagram. But I also met someone on Instagram that lived in San Francisco and
Oh,
and
nice.
and they were like a horror enthusiast. Yeah, nice you think, right? They were like a horror enthusiast, and I was like, oh, cool. You know, I thought we were friends and stuff. And like, we went and saw on Friday the 13th. We went and saw like Part Six, Jason
Oh,
Lives, and
right. Okay.
the theater was playing at the Alamo Draft House, and I was like, oh yeah, that was cool. And then there was a roast of Bruce Campbell,
Oh,
uh,
nice.
and it was like a panel. It had like Elvira was there and David
Oh,
Allen
wow.
Greer was there and like it was just it was a fun thing and my I knew someone who had tickets and they couldn't go so I was like to this person, hey, let's go. But this was the like first time I really met someone in person from online, and
Right.
it did not she was a little crazy, dude. She made up this she like told all of our mutual friends that we were like fucking and she was like hanging out at my apartment and like it was real weird and she like made fake text messages to send like screenshots to her friends.
I don't fucking believe you.
It was no, it was spooky as shit and like and I was like, so that's why I sort of like lately it kind of shook me up a little because I was like, I don't have
No.
like an alter ego, like an online. I'm like Ben
Oh,
with you, and I'm Ben with like my downstairs neighbors. Like I don't have a secret
jeez.
life or anything. And like after all that happened, and I was like, and I thought maybe she was like really unhinged. I was like and thought we were dating or something, and like I didn't know what was going
Wow.
on. And so I like asked her, and she's like totally denied it. But I had some people had sent me like voice messages of her talking
Wow.
about me and like this screenshot of this message that said it was like a picture. It wasn't even like my profile. It was like a different picture of me. And it was
Wow.
like the little text bubble was like, oh, I think I love you. And I was like, it was like, what the fuck? Are you guys serious? Like, I didn't know if they were punking me
Wow.
or not. It was really like upsetting, to be honest with
Oh,
you.
no, that's no, fuck that. No, that's
It was weird,
I
but
would be just like you. I that would shake me. That would shake the shit out of me.
yeah,
Uh, I don't think I'd go near fucking anyone again.
that's sort of like
After that.
where that's why I've been sort of like. I mean, obviously I don't like the people I met on YouTube have been like the realest people I've met. I mean, like I've made some real good friends through YouTube and Instagram too, but like that was sort of through Instagram, and it was like the one time I like thought I was gonna like meet someone and have like a friendship like in real life from
Yeah,
Instagram, and it just
yeah.
did not go well. And I was like, is everyone on like just like full of fucking weird crazy bullshit or like what's going on? So that's why I haven't really been on Instagram quite as much.
Oh God, I swear, it's kind of fucking weird when you said that because I said it to Ellen a few times. I think the one biggest goal I would love to accomplish when it comes to YouTube is to actually meet somebody,
Yeah.
like yourself or Cody or David, a dog, Phil, all them. Um, but then after hearing that, you're kind of going, "Oh Jesus, maybe you shouldn't meet your heroes."
I mean, like now, of course, like you know, I'm good friends with Cody and Dave and Phil and all that, and like you know, Cody, Dave, and Mark, they've all like met in person and stuff. And
Yeah,
Sean too, Ellsworth. But like I'm so far away that I haven't met them. I would totally meet
right.
them in real life. Um, but this person just happened to be in San Francisco.
Wow.
And so like, you know, I was like, okay, yeah, let's, you know.
Right. It's funny. It's funny. Like I'll tell you what's happening with me now. Uh, a gentleman who is subscribed to me. I'm actually open about. I've spoken about it numerous times on my videos. I'm very open to anyone. I'm always telling people to, you know, check me out on Instagram. You know, I'm here to talk. I'm happy to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And then a fella named there's a fella. I'm actually not going to say his name, but he lives in Ireland and he's around an hour from me. And he said to me one day, he sent me a message. Is there any chance I can have a video call with you? And I was like, of course you can. Yeah, of course. I said,
Yeah.
I'm trying to give him a time. I was, you know, what day I was free and this, that. And he rang me anyway. And we started chatting anyway. And everything was grand. And then all of a sudden, a day later, another phone call. A day later, another phone call.
Yeah.
Another day later, 4 phone calls in one day.
Yeah.
And I was like, now we're getting a bit kind of, this is getting a bit kind of stalkerish.
Yeah.
It is. And it's gotten to the point now where I'm starting now to ignore his calls. You know, and he's doing this thing now where he's messaging me and he's like, I really need to talk to somebody. And I
Yeah.
was like, you have a wife there, go fucking talk to her. You know, it's I don't think I don't think they understand I have a life. I work. You know, I can't be fucking answering my phone 4 or 5 calls a day, just to sit there and shoot the shit with you. Unfortunately, I don't have that. So it's getting a bit kind of stalkerish with him. It's kind of getting a bit scary.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that it's going to lead to him calling up here someday. I fucking hope it doesn't happen. But it is kind of scary in that sense.
Dude, like that that person from Instagram had never been to my apartment or anything like that at all.
Right.
We went to the theater and then we went to like the roast. And I think both nights afterwards we went and got some food. And that was like the extent of it. But I had sent her something because I sent her what it was Get Out 4K because I had the Everything Blue release and I just
Oh,
had
nice.
this
Yeah.
memory case like thing that I had gotten before that. And I was like, I asked this horror group that I was a part of, like, hey, anyone want this? And she said, yeah. So I sent it to her, but I had my return address on it. And so, like, after all that shit went down, I was like, I never really lock my doors when I'm at home. And I started
Yeah.
locking my doors, dude. Like, literally, like, I don't know if this person is going to hurt me or, like, try to,
I
like, I don't know
know.
what's going on. Real spooky.
I I know what, like I said, what's going on with me is a bit stalkerish, but that's what you're going through is something very, very different altogether. I don't know what that one is trying to accomplish or what she was trying to accomplish by saying all those things.
Due to like
It's
our group, like we were basically part of this group chat. And so like all these I'm not like I'm like I mean I messaged with you and stuff, you know, like
absolutely,
I messaged within this group and we used to do like group calls and stuff. We'd hang out, watch a movie and like
absolutely,
and it was fun, you know, it was cool people. And then like all those people, she was telling all these people like this crazy shit about me. And I was like one of them messaged me once and was like, oh, have you heard from this person? I'm worried. I know you guys are kind of like dating. I'm like, what? And it just started this whole thing. They're like, oh yeah, dude, like she's been saying this shit for months. Like, and they sent me like screenshots she had sent and like
Jesus
video, like
Christ.
audio messages she had sent, like, oh, I just left his apartment. I'm like, what the fuck? And then she completely denied it. And I was until I was like, I was just like, you know, I don't want to like, I'm not like a dickhead. And like, I don't know what's going on. I just don't like, we're not a romantic couple or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
need you to
absolutely,
understand that. And like, I don't really, I mean, she denied the whole thing. Like, no, I would never like, and like, why would I tell the people that we know, like this about you? Doesn't it seem like I'd be caught? And I'm like, yeah, it does. Like, why would you? And like,
So just out of curiosity, then, when you went out that time,
Yeah.
was there any sign of that going on when you were out with her? That it just
No,
she was fine.
she was fine. I had fun hanging out with her. Like we used to do like lives on Instagram and stuff. We'd hang out live with some other people, and I always had fun talking with her. Uh,
Right.
and when we met in person, it was just like it was messaging with someone, but like in real life. So it was never weird or awkward or like uh,
Oh,
no mixed messages getting sent or anything like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it was
That's
just it was weird, dude. It sort of put me off a little bit. I'm like trying to
no,
claw my way
yeah,
back into like being social.
no, I get it. It's look at the end of the day, you just don't know, do you? Unfortunately, it's the great unknown. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to online, you think everything's all good and great and everything's fine when you meet them in person, but then behind the scenes, you just don't know what's going on.
Now I think
Um,
like for instance, like you, I feel like if I met you, I wouldn't expect. I mean, I guess you never know, but I wouldn't expect you to be like a weirdo or anything. I mean, I feel like I know you pretty well. I know like Cody and David and all those guys. I mean, I think when you do
yeah,
video calls with people and stuff,
yeah,
hanging out, this is like we're not in the same room, but we're hanging out. So it's
yeah,
like,
absolutely. Just ignore all the whips and chains behind me.
yeah,
That has nothing to do
exactly.
with it.
Oh shit, my green screen is fucking up a little.
No, you're absolutely correct. I'd have no trouble meeting any of you. I know I'd have no worries with it. But there is the few where you're a little bit kind of you just don't know what way it would go. Um, but that's what I find. I find that I'm the closest people that I am on YouTube are the people that I know I could trust,
Yeah.
and that. So I do be very careful when people start coming over to me saying that they're from Ireland,
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
because I'm fair them like because I think everyone knows, anyone that's part of my channel now knows that this room is separate from my house. So all it takes is the right person to find out where the fuck I live,
Yeah.
and this thing could be fucking ransacked. So you have to be careful. You have to be very careful. But I tell you one thing. I tell you another thing about my channel, though. I swear to God, some of the gifts that I've gotten in the last couple of
Dude,
months.
people
Holy
send you all
fuck!
sorts of crazy shit.
I actually got another one. I don't know if you can actually see it here. No, you can't see it. Someone actually sent me the uh, the Star Wars trilogy on
Mm.
Laserdisc.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Now I don't have a Laserdisc player, but I fucking love Laserdiscs. I do, and yeah, someone sent me that. I know they're very hard to buy. They're expensive. So someone actually sent me that. I have this. I don't know if you've seen the video. Did you see the Gladiator edition I got?
It was a while back, right? I did see
It
it.
was around, I'd say around maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah, I did see it.
There's only 1,000. There's only 100 of them
Yeah.
them editions, and a fella named Nathan sent it to me. So the only thing about that edition was, which I loved, it's a steelbook box set, but you don't get the
You don't
steelbooks.
get
So
Steelbook. Yeah, I remember that.
you make it your own box set,
Yeah.
and I thought that was going to be easy to put together. It fucking wasn't.
Yeah.
To get the steelbooks for Gladiator, they're not fucking cheap. So I wanted to get a Blu-ray version on steelbook and to get a 4K, and I wanted to get the best possible steelbooks for that movie, and that was a hassle. That was a fucking hassle
Just put the
to put together.
Leatherface one in there, dude. You'll be fine. Leatherface pretty cool from Turbine. Just put that in there.
It's a great way to hide it, isn't it? Yeah, get the fucking down, get out of me fucking sight. But that's the one thing about that movie. It's probably the best thing about that movie is that steelbook.
Yeah, it is a good steel.
It's not even a steelbook, is it? It's more of a metal pack, isn't it?
It's like a metal pack. Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It is. But no, some of the gifts that I've gotten is unbelievable. It's you just know that your channel is growing when you see that kind of generosity coming through.
Yeah,
And
people
it's
send you
unbelievable.
like big packages, dude, with all sorts of shit. Like
They don't fucking hold back. I think they actually just like my reaction to it. I react to anyone's gifts. I don't care what the gift is. I said if someone sent me a roll of toilet paper, I'd probably react the same fucking way. I'll be always over enthusiastic about it.
I'm glad you say that because I have a dead rat in a package coming to you soon, so be on the lookout.
I thought you were going to turn around and say something like "fucking I've creep show fucking toilet paper in the house," or
No,
fucking like that.
It's a dead rat wearing a friendship bracelet. I was just like, and there's a little there's like a little Ben plus Keith heart I carved into it. It's great. It's real romantic.
That's good. Yeah. Oh yeah. So when are we meeting?
Yeah, I do it. My train tickets for next month. No,
wait, you see your Instagram account is going to fucking light up now when I get off, yo.
The what now?
Your Instagram account will light up now once we get off, yo.
Yeah.
I'll be spreading shit about you.
Yeah, exactly. That dude sent me a dead rat.
So, do you have anything coming your way? Any kind of specials coming your way?
Like pre-order stuff, you mean?
Yeah.
I got a couple things. I have a real weird relationship with the Cine Museum.
Very nice.
I like their stuff, but the dude that runs it, he's not a reliable dude. You know what I mean?
I won't go near him.
Yeah, like when, like I was like gave him the benefit of the doubt on some stuff, and like I pre-ordered the Creepshow thing and the
Did you get that?
Not yet, because at the same time I pre-ordered it, I pre-ordered the Lost Boy set. Now they have released the Creepshow set.
Yeah, I know, I've seen it,
but I never got it, and so like I was like, hey dude, can you like maybe just send me the Creeps? I know I placed it both for like pre-order at the same order, and I know the Lost Boys one isn't ready, so you're going to ship everything when it is, but can I just pay for shipping separately on this? And he's like, yeah, I can ship it out, no problem. And then you don't have to pay for anything, and then when we ship the Lost Boys, I'll just, we'll talk about it then.
Right.
I was like, cool. Well, actually, maybe I'll buy these other things on your site that I've been sort of thinking about, and you just throw it in the order. So we did that. I did that. And then I said, hey, okay, I placed this order. Just throw the Creepshow in there and everything, and we'll be cool. And he's like, cool, you'll get tracking within 48 hours. And then 10 days go by, and I was like, hey, I never did get tracking. What's going on? And then like a week goes by, and I go like, hey, update me on the status of this order. Have you sent it yet? And he never got back to me, but then I got notice that it shipped. So it's shipped, and I haven't picked it up, but I'm looking forward to that because I got Monster Squad One Click. Now it doesn't come in a cool one click box, but it's just basically
it's 3 separate media books, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the 3 separate media books.
Yeah,
but I got those, and I got what was the fucking, hold on, I always fuck this up. I call it like a Birds of Prey. I always call it like, ends up calling it Birds of Paradise for some reason.
Is that the one click edition?
It's not the one click, but it's the 4K full slip of it.
Okay, right. I don't know about you, but these people really shouldn't antagonize someone like yourself.
Oh, why? Like, because I'll send them a dead rat and they know it.
No, I mean, you've clearly spent a lot of money on their website. Why would you do that? Why would you antagonize someone that actually is, buying considerable amount of stuff off your website? Why would you kind of annoy them? Why would you risk losing them?
I don't think he's doing it on purpose. I think he has a good product, and I think he's just not a super reliable dude. And I think also maybe it's because I'm overseas. So I think maybe for like the European and UK market, he's like has a better way to ship stuff out or something. I don't know.
Right. It's I don't know. It's a risky game. You could end up turning around and saying to them, "Look, fuck this. I'll go to Film Arena. They seem to treat their customers a bit better," and then they're down a solid fucking customer. I don't think they should. They shouldn't ignore your emails. Put it that way.
I did tell him once, like, when I sent him an email and I never heard back from him, at some point I was like, "Hey, dude, get back to me, or I'm gonna just start blasting your old fucking company on all my social media. I'm gonna make
Right.
videos. It's gonna be a problem because you're fucking with me, and
Yeah.
like let's just at least return my email." And he got sent me back an angry mail like, "I don't like being threatened." I'm like, "Well, look, the only reason you responded to me is because I fucking threatened you." And
Absolutely.
I laid out the whole situation. I'm like, this is the story of how this order has gone. Like,
Yeah.
you told me it was going to ship at this date, okay, because your fucking resealer machine was broken, and then like it never shipped at that date. So I emailed you again, and I didn't hear from you for a month, and then I emailed you again. I didn't hear from you for a month. So this is why I'm frustrated. And he's like, "Oh, well, that machine was fixed a long time ago, and like it was this other issue." I was like, "No one talked to me, so this is why I was getting frustrated with you, because your
Absolutely.
communication sucked."
No,
Uh,
if these people just communicate, I'll be happy. I'll be like, Grant, okay. But when they start blowing you off, it gets kind of like all of a sudden you're kind of concerned,
yeah,
whether you're going to get fucked over or not. That's what happened. That's why I've never went back to Sign Museum, because I never witnessed anything like it. I got
yeah,
penalized. I got penalized €15 because I cancelled my order.
yeah,
Imagine getting penalized for cancelling your fucking order. Yeah. So I said, I vowed that I would never go back to them again, and I haven't since.
yeah,
And I'm not gonna lie, I love that Pet Cemetery edition,
yeah,
but I still think the Film Arena one clicks are better.
yeah,
I still think they've done that just more impressive. I do. Not anything against that Pet Cemetery release, because it's
sure.
fucking remarkable, as
Yeah.
you know. Actually, you have one that I'd love to get hold of. Actually, funny enough, was that what do you man Del Toro's movie? What's it called?
Oh, Shape of Water.
Yeah, is that Sign Museum? Was it?
No, that's Mantalab.
Oh, that was Manta. But that's actually an incredible release. I'd love to get my hands on that. I would. I'd never even seen the movie, and I'd still love to get my hands on it.
You know, that was a movie I hadn't seen until I picked that up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and all
And
these
then
years.
and you enjoyed it, did you?
It's a great movie. I mean,
Right.
I feel like it won like a bunch of Academy Awards and everything. I think it was a little overhyped for me when I saw it because of all the accolades, and I love Guillermo del Toro. It's
Yeah.
a great movie, but I think also, I mean, when something wins a bunch of Academy Awards and it's by a director you love and you know you're gonna like it, it's easy to go in with maybe expectations that were a little too high.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a good film. Yeah, it's good.
Right. Someone told me that, I don't know if it's Manta Lab or who it was. But someone told me that there is a company out there. Again, I don't know if it's Blue Fans Manta Lab, but they were saying that if you get one-click editions from them, that when you get the booklets and the postcards, apparently all the booklets and postcards are the exact same in each edition that you get inside the one-click.
Yeah,
Where Film Arena now, everything is different
yeah, that's
inside.
what's
The only
messed
thing that's
up.
the same is the steelbook.
Mantalab is that way. Mantalab
Really?
is that way. Yeah, that's
Right.
when
Right. Right.
that's when like when you were saying people were like saying Mantalab was like way better than Film Arena. I was like, Mantalab's cool and everything, but I don't know, Film Arena. I prefer them.
I can't. Like I said, I've gone crazy with them. I don't think people fully understand that. I need to maybe explain it in a video. This has nothing to do with discs. I
Yeah,
couldn't give a flying fuck if there was no disc in these box set.
yeah,
I just want the edition. I don't give a fuck
yeah,
about it. I have the movies on 4K
yeah,
already.
exactly.
It means nothing to me. I just want the editions themselves. I got one there recently of the Justice League,
Yeah,
and they're one of the editions that you got in that in Justice League. I think it was the Blu-ray edition of it, where there was this artwork that had in the back of the box of Steppenwolf, and I never seen artwork like it before. The way that spot glossing was done, some of the most incredible spot glossing I ever seen. And then someone left a comment and went, "Why would you put that kind of effort onto a Blu-ray?" And I was like,
oh yeah.
"Jesus Christ, man, come on! They're not that
People don't.
fucking
Yeah,
bad,
people don't. I
Come on."
mean, yeah, in a sense, like, yeah, why would you? But like at the same time, it's because people like us exist. Like,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's fucking. So yeah, I find myself constantly defending the one-click editions
But
The amount of times that someone turned and said, "Why do you need 5 versions of a movie in one box set?"
it's like,
And I was like,
why
"Nothing
do
to do
you
with the
need
discs."
why do you need like 5 purses or like a fucking like, like 18 sets of shoes or whatever the fuck it is that you think is
Absolutely,
cool and you collect? Like, like
absolutely,
okay, I wear overalls all the time and or lounge pants, but like, and I do have like, I don't know, 10 pairs of black overalls or whatever, but like, uh, like, I don't understand why you. I mean, whatever. Some people love fashion, and so they like are gonna go buy a whatever, like $1,800
absolutely, absolutely,
suit or some shit, and more power to them, dude. Like, that's great. Someone will be like,
absolutely.
"Oh man, I just spent like $4,000 on this cologne because it's fucking smells like whatever the fuck it smells like." I'm like, awesome, dude. Like, people like different shit, like you can't.
Yeah, it's it's a strange thing. Like I said, I find myself constantly defending Film Arena every time I do an edition of it, and it's why I'm not in a rush to do videos on them.
Yeah,
I still have I have at least 7 1 clicks up there that I haven't done videos on yet,
yeah,
and I'm in no rush to fucking do them because it's just the hassle of dealing with the comment. As you know, I interact with everyone,
yeah,
and the fucking hassle of trying to it's gotten to the point now where it's like you know what, I can't explain it anymore,
yeah,
because there's no getting through to them. Like I said to you, this has nothing to do with discs. Absolutely nothing to do with them. It's
yeah.
just the edition itself. That's all I care about.
Uh, yeah. I mean, people don't get it, but like, Anthony in the house. By the way, what's up? Some more
Yeah,
paramedic. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's the same. It's the same. People like what they like. They collect what they collect, and like,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense to you, but that's because you're not into it, or like
yeah,
maybe you like the movie and you're not, the actual physical thing about the movie isn't what's cool to you, but like,
yeah.
you're never gonna
I,
understand. So why bother asking about it? Like,
I actually bought it's the only time I've done it, but I bought a 1 click of edition to a movie I've never seen.
oh yeah,
I bought that movie Child 44 with Tom Hardy, and I've never seen the movie before, but I fell in love with the set of it, and haven't done the video to that. And I'll tell you the reason why I haven't done a video on that one is because it's a movie held in Russia. It's a kind of it's a Russian themed movie, and I don't think it'll be appreciated if I actually put a video out for that now. I think I'll wait for things to die down before I do anything with that release. But I am going to say it in the video that I bought this without ever seeing the movie, and I can't wait to read the backlash that I will get. And I know people will say it. What the fuck are you doing buying an edition like that to a movie you never seen before?
like, I know, but dude, fuck people. First off, like, you don't
Yeah,
have to justify your, like, dude. Some of the shit I own, like, to like almost anyone in the world, they'll be like, why do you have a fucking giant statue of Gamera that you paid like $1,800 for? Like, what in the holy fuck is wrong with you? Like, I could
it's
buy,
not fucking see it.
huh?
It's a that's the same. Look at it. It's a
Yeah,
piece of fucking art. That's why I fucking bought it. It's they'll never understand it. They'll
yeah.
never get it. There's no
And
explaining it.
it's all like, I find myself like, I'm gonna buy this acoustic guitar. It's really expensive. Like, I don't even want to tell you how much it is, because like, even I and a lot of guitarists would be like, why the fuck would you spend that much money on that guitar? Uh, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do it anyway. It's like, you
Right,
could
right.
literally buy like any guitar. If you could buy like any guitar you want, not literally, because there are guitars that sell for like, $1
Yeah,
million or whatever. But like, you could get any production guitar you want for the amount of money I'm going to spend on this.
right, right.
And yeah, sometimes you're like, well, I justify it, but then you're also like, wait, like, if you got money to spend, just spend the fucking money. Like, like,
That's look. You can't take it with you, Ben.
yeah,
That's the way I look at it. You can't take fucking money when you're gone. You're gone. It's
it's
when the money's there, fucking
it,
spend it.
it does get a little hard to justify certain things though, because like, you can get this same guitar for a lot cheaper, but this is from the Gibson Custom Shop. So it's like a
Right.
hand built guitar, even though you can get the same specs and everything that but it's just a little, it's, you know, it's more than twice as expensive, and it's like 3 times as expensive, and the original is expensive as fuck anyway.
I don't know. Like it's. I don't think like I will. Would people agree with me spending 25,000 on this room?
Yeah.
You know, just so I can watch movies in peace. You know, people would think I'm fucking crazy, but it's like it's. There's a bit more to that though as well, because you know I think I've said it to you before on numerous streams that me and Ellen someday would like to move out to the country. That's our goal in life, and this pod has actually literally added 25,000 onto our house.
Yeah.
Whenever we do come to sell it, we've actually just finished the garden now. The walkway up. You should see the job. We got the whole walkway all slabbed. There's a pathway now going the whole way up to the pod now as well. It's all fucking lit with LED lights.
Nice.
It just looks incredible, and it's all we're thinking about the future as well. But regardless of whether we're going to sell this or not, if we do in the future, I still would have paid the money just to get that peace of mind. It's people will say I'm crazy. I don't give a shit. It's my fucking money. I'll do whatever I fucking want with it.
Yeah, that's like I get a lot of shit because we used to do the coast to coast every Saturday, and I'd order pizza, and pizza's expensive. Pizza can be expensive here. It's like, dude, I could get like fucking like I could get like 18 pizzas for that price or something. It's like, that's great, dude. More power to you. I hope you enjoy eating those 18 pizzas. But
absolutely, that's it's funny. It's I never looked at it that way with you. You know, like you spend 70 fucking quid on pizza, and all I kept saying to myself is, it's obviously a nice fucking pizza. That's why he's getting it. You know, I don't argue with anyone. With what people do with their money is their business. It's none of my business. And that's what you have to deal with a lot on YouTube. And especially with me now, because my channel has gotten up so high now. It is a lot of people saying, "Why do you spend money on this? Why do you buy this? Why do you buy that?" And I always say the same thing. And I was like, "Well, I never talk about money." On my my videos. So what the fuck are you talking about? How do you know what I spent on these releases? You know, again, just talking out of fucking asses. They just don't have a clue what they're talking about. But I do find myself defending a lot of what I show.
Yeah, I mean, you do have like a lot of fucking subscribers. Like I put a video out and I get like 30 views or some shit. So like I don't have to deal with it. But at the same time, like I just don't. I mean, yeah. I guess I get tired of telling people the same shit all the time.
That's yeah. I've actually gotten to the point now where I actually, when I see the comments come up, I just delete them.
Yeah, or you should just put like a little disclaimer at the beginning that says, "Ask the same stupid fucking question, and you're gonna get the copy pasted answer." It's like every time, like you'll see, like your comment section will be like have like a bunch of like thoughtful things, and then just a bunch of like because of this.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine if I actually did do a video where I actually showed off one of the click editions and actually say in the video how much I actually spent on them. Yeah, because I never do. It happened one time. And again, the YouTube is a learning thing. You always fucking learn.
Yeah.
I did it with the Forrest Gump release that I got, the one-click edition. I made the mistake of saying that it was still available on Film Arena. And within 10 minutes of that video going out, all I got was people that clearly went over to Film Arena's website just to find out how much it was. And all of a sudden, for 10 minutes, 20 minutes of that video, how could you spend that money? Why did you do that? That's ludicrous. Who is that kind of money? And I was like, well, I do. Fuck off. You know, so so I kind of, there's little pitfalls that you can fall in on YouTube now, and I've learned to kind of not, I stay away from money, put it that way.
Yeah.
When it comes to showing anything. And that another thing that gets asked with me a lot as well, and I absolutely ignore it as well, is my job. I never talk about my fucking job on YouTube. I find that they don't they don't want to know, they don't care what job I'm doing.
Yeah.
They just want to know how I'm getting the money to buy the stuff that I get. You know, and I just find when someone mentions my fucking job to me, it irritates the shit out of me.
Be
It
like,
does.
yeah,
Yeah,
just like
none of your goddamn fucking business.
none of your
Yeah, you know.
business,
So
dude. If you're
yeah,
not
exactly.
buying the
So
drug deals that I'm fucking, if you're not one of my drug buyers, then just don't worry about it, dude.
yeah, imagine saying that. Yeah, I'm a professional drug dealer.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
ever see Clint Eastwood in The Mule? That's what I do. I, I deliver for the cartel.
Exactly. Like I'm one
Imagine
of
the
the
fucking
most
reaction if you did
respected
say that.
drug dealers in my area. It's great.
What's that?
I said I'm one of the most respected drug dealers in this the fucking tri-state area or whatever you guys have over there.
I recommend doing it. It's fantastic. Yeah, so that's another thing. It actually happened on a stream one night. I was actually on with John, and someone just randomly come on and said, "What the fuck do you do for a living?" And I just straight out went, "None of your fucking business." What I do, and that was it. It was just done, and everyone was kind of thanking me,
Yeah,
congratulating me on saying that, you know, because it's everyone knows that they don't care.
yeah.
They don't care about the job you're doing. They just want to know what you're fucking doing.
Now
They just want to know how you can.
I love my job, and I
Yeah,
have no problem telling people the general stuff I do, but I can't talk about like the details of anything I make.
absolutely. Yeah,
But
yeah,
like, I'm happy to talk about like making shit with people like 24/7. But I'm also not going to be like, this is the company I do it for, and this is what my annual income is, or
yeah.
anything like
No,
that.
like that's what I'm saying. I don't mind. I don't mind talk. Like if I was offline, and I'd have no problem talking to you or Cody or any of my close friends on YouTube.
Sure.
That's no problem at all. But when you get a random person that you've never heard of before, just come on and just ask. It just fucking drives me nuts. I hate that fucking question. I do. I just find it very rude, to be honest.
Well, it also depends on if it's someone like, how the fuck can you afford all this? What do you do, dude? Then that's like a different thing.
Someone left a comment the other day. I broke my arse laughing when I read it. It was just, can someone in this comment section please explain to me where this fella is storing all this fucking shit? Does he have a holiday home? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just bought a whole fucking like second room for this shit, dude. Like,
Yeah. So, yeah, it's some of the things you just have to fucking deal with. Unfortunately, on YouTube, it's
that
the weird thing
struggle is,
is,
sorry, go
what's
on.
that?
I was gonna
No,
say
sorry, we're gonna say.
that struggle is real though. Like how the space issue, like there's a lot of shit that I'm like, I'd like to have it, but I'm not gonna buy it. And I stopped buying stuff in general for a while until I sort of like and that's why I started collecting like the more deluxe editions, because like I don't have a space to buy every movie that comes out, like, and I
Yeah,
only collect horror now. So I keep like narrowing down my focus until like, okay, I only collect fucking like these deluxe ass shit that people think is really expensive, and that's why I have a bunch of them. Is because I can't fucking like I can't, I
it's
don't.
I'm fucking weird. Again, I only spoke to someone about this today. Uh, I don't like putting anything down low that I like.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you go through this, but if I have any deluxe releases, I don't like putting them down to the ground floor. I like
Oh
to have them at face level.
yeah.
But then you've only got so much fucking space when it comes to face level. You
when I
know?
when I put this shelf up, like all this is all media books, right? Until you get to here,
Right,
then we got full slip and one clicks and all that shit.
right.
And then here we have all second sight, like these two shelves, limited edition, and then down here is steel books. And then I was like, shit, dude, do I just take all these? Because over here, all this is media books. And I'm like, do I continue these across here, or do I keep the media books here and then and then I'm like,
Oh no.
you see in the hallway that how there's like a light right here? That's
Yeah.
that's from the window of my bathroom. And so I'm like, and dude, that's why you
I
don't put any windows in your shit. Like
no,
after, yeah.
I
So
tell you
I'm
one
like,
thing, man. You want to get a fucking blackout blind or something there, because
I know.
you're asking for fucking trouble there. it's still fucking, especially with media books, they will badly fade
Yeah.
if any kind of direct sunlight get on them. So you want to be fucking careful.
Well, it really depends, like, on what ink they use. Some, like, of these old, like, DVDs I have, like, some of them look like, and this next to others that are completely sun bleached, some will look like they just came out of the fucking factory.
Right, right, right.
Right? And
Jesus
the
Christ.
same with, like, books and whatnot. Like, but
Mm, mm.
I do want to, like, get some. It's something I've considered because I'm like, I don't want to necessarily put like all the fancy shit on this shelf that's going to be blasted with sunlight all day. Like,
Yeah, I know. It is the one great thing about this room. I don't have to fucking worry about that. Thank fuck, because if there was a window in here, I don't know what I'd fucking do.
yeah,
Because I do have, it's straight, because like over here to the right of me is a lot of my Film Arena releases, a lot of my steelbooks on 4K. I've also got all my collectibles of Warner Brothers, Studio Canal, all that is over there. Then over to the left here is all my Arrow and Second Sight stuff, and a lot of my Blu-ray steelbooks as well. Midnight Classics. They're all over on the left-hand side. So if there was a window here, it would be fucking hard. It would have been hard to try and kind of space everything where the direct sunlight is that, I wouldn't want to put it on any of my collectibles, any kind of important releases.
yeah.
Just like when you mentioned media books there, I was just going to say, because I don't have a big media book collection, but I did that thing where when I was sorting this room out, and I was like, where will I put my media books? I'll put them on the ground. And I was like, no, I can't fucking put my media books on the ground. I can't look down on fucking media books. And
Now,
that's
I do
so,
have all my steel, on this lower shelves is all steel books, but they're all in like
that,
plastic cases and shit. So like, Quilted walks by them, like puts her fucking fur on them and shit, and like, like, but they're in cases, so it's cool.
I was actually looking at a yoke there. It was actually last night. I seen a video on YouTube. Do you know, I'm sure you do, Sean Clark,
Does he do
who does the Horror's Hollow
Halloween?
Ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually bought the real prop from, Hellraiser 3.
Mm-hmm.
The giant statue thing. The
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
big
he
like,
actually yeah. He actually bought the real thing. He did. And there's a video. The video is around 20 minutes long, and it's him trying to get this fucking thing into his house.
yeah, dude.
And I'm not kidding you. I was looking at it and I was like, I'll tell you one thing, I would have left it out in my fucking garden. Fuck that. The shit they went through to get that yoke into the house.
Yeah.
Some fucking thing. For one, incredible piece.
Yeah.
But Jesus, I don't know if it was worth the hassle.
Dude, I bought my amplifier. It's like it's pretty big, and like I'm just like a dude. I live upstairs, and I remember like trying to carry up these narrow back stairs, and like,
Fuck that.
fuck, dude, what a pain in the asshole.
No fucking way.
So, and that's like when I'd like to get a new couch and a new TV at some point in the nearest future, and I'm like definitely gonna just pay someone to bring that shit upstairs. It's like gonna be the best money I ever spent, dude.
I'm just gonna say that is fucking definitely money well spent. Fuck that. And I wouldn't even fucking do it, even if I didn't have fucking stairs. I still fucking pay them just to put it on the ground floor. Fuck that. I'm not built for all that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, dude. I remember like that Gamera statue I was just mentioning. That came in 2 boxes. And I took a picture of it once, and it basically like let me see if I can find this picture real quick. But there's a quilted in scale for it. It was these 2 big fucking boxes, like some of the biggest shit you've ever seen. Like the statue's big, but it's not that big. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
And it was just pretty ridiculous. And I remember like bringing these things upstairs, and I was like, what shit? What did I just do? But at the same time, like, I also just ordered a full size creep show. It's like a bust of the creep of the cover. It's basically like
nice.
Like a full scale creep in the ticket booth with the fucking like hair and a single eyeball and the fucking like hand coming through the little thing, and it's like the a 3D cover, and I was like, okay,
Wow.
huh?
Did you actually get that?
It's not coming till it's like this dude. I'm not gonna get it till June. I think is the estimate.
Oh man.
Like handmade thing.
Oh, fucking next class. That's great.
But it was also one of these things where I'm like, it's latex. The creep is latex, and that just like people collect masks and stuff, and like all this
I
stuff,
know.
and like all. It's really interesting because that shit degrades like over time. It's not like
That's yeah. That's why I stopped buying the. It was my intention to buy every single Michael Myers mask from each movie from Trick or Treat Studios.
oh yeah.
And but to get them over here, it's to get them imported and all that. It's actually quite a lot of money, and that did kind of enter my thought process. I was like, wait a minute, I'm only going to have so much time with these. Is it worth doing? And so I actually stopped doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because both a lot of people have their whole collection is based on that.
Yeah, I know. It's
So,
it's so hard to protect it. I know that I think people have it in their heads. If I put it in display cases, glass display cases, it's going to be okay.
yeah,
It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way.
if
It's
you seal it in a vacuum outside
yeah,
of UV light spectrum, it'll be fine.
put it into a fucking lead case.
Yeah, if you put it into a lead vacuum, like have all the oxygen sucked out of a lead case and bury it 18 feet in the ground, you'll be okay. But then
Oh,
again, the people who collect those masks, we're thinking like, well, that's not a like built-in problem. Like, why would you spend that much money on a mask? It's because that dude enjoys having those masks around, like
they absolutely. Yeah, we go. Absolutely. Yeah.
like I don't really consider any of this shit I do an investment. You know what I mean? Like,
No, yeah. I try to tell myself that sometimes. Like I'm always saying, like when I buy a one-click edition, I'm like, there's only fucking 300 of these in the world. Could you imagine what they're going to be? But it doesn't fucking matter how much they're going to cost in the future because
yeah.
I'm not going to get rid of them.
The only reason it matters is because you don't want to have to spend that money in like this many coming months. You don't want to be like, shit, I should have gone at that,
Well, the great thing about these one-click editions, again, it's something else I was meant to bring up in one of my videos, and this is an absolute fact, and I'm sure you know it yourself. But like I said, all my one-clicks that I got for Film Arena, I think they're all limited to around maybe 300, 400 copies.
Yeah.
But you know as well as I do, what's happening with these editions is people are fucking buying them and breaking them up and selling everything separately. So when you're talking about like an edition of like Venom, which there's only 300 of, chances are there's probably only around fucking 150 of them now to get a complete. So
can you see this, by the way? That's
oh my God.
That's my refrigerator, and that's those boxes, and that is quilted right next to it.
Oh my God!
Upstairs, and I was like, "Oh my God, what the?"
Now, here's a question for you: did you get rid of the boxes?
Yeah, I had to.
You did.
I had to, man.
Wow, I thought you would.
There's only a few boxes that I'm like I bought that like fluffy. Here's the thing, by the way.
Oh my God!
I bought the that fluffy bust, and it came in a cool box, and I was like, fuck, I gotta throw this box away. And then someone was like, don't throw it away, dude, just keep it. And I was like, fuck.
That's been brought up now a bit. Actually, funny enough, on my channel, it's been brought up actually. There's 2 comments I got today where people were saying, I'm just looking at the collector that you are. I'm sure you have all the boxes for everything. I just want to know where they are. And I was like, well, yeah, I have actually every single one of my boxes. They're all in the attic.
They're every fucking one box 30 feet under my apartment or my house.
There are. I have all of them in the attic now. It's probably not the best place in the world for them to be in, but unfortunately, it's all I can do. There's nothing else I can fucking do other than get rid of them. But there's no way I'll ever do that.
It's the tricky thing, but like those boxes also have like styrofoam, so it's not like it's a big.
Absolutely.
And you saw the size of them. Like, where the fuck am I going to keep those? So
I know. It's I get it. I do.
And
but there is one. There is one box. Sorry, I was going to just say there was one box that I did get. Now, not quite as big as that,
Yeah.
but my Firefly bust, wherever it fucking is, I think it's there. It's one over there. No, it's over there. I think. The Firefly box that came in was fucking huge. Now, it's so big that I actually was like, Jesus Christ, can I even get it into the attic?
Yeah.
Now, thank God I was able to get it into it, but the fucking box is like a piece of art on this thing. There was no way I could ever part with it. And funny enough, in this room, some of the items that I don't look at fondly, like for instance, my Sunny bust from iRobot. I don't know why I'm always saying it to Ellen. I don't look upon it fondly because I don't have the box for it. It feels like it's incomplete to me. I would love to get a box for it someday, but chances are it'll never happen.
I mean, with all the Godzilla figures and stuff, and I have like the gigantic figures, so they're big, dude, and like the boxes they come in are big, and like, yeah, the artwork on them is cool, but I'm not. It's one of these things where I'm not buying them to resell them at any point. So like having,
yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that.
And you can't keep them all. Now, having said that, I still have the fluffy box in my kitchen, and I keep thinking like, why am I just gonna put that in the fucking recycling thing? Just because one dude fucking said one time like, oh, you should keep that. That's cool looking. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got that creep show ashtray, and I was like, wow, this is actually a really cool box. So I might actually keep that box. I haven't decided.
Right. But like all you have a lot of I'm sure you have plenty of NECA figures and all that kind of stuff as well, don't you?
I only have a few NECA figures. I have more Mezco figures.
Oh, well, Mezco, are they all then kept in the box as well?
Now the Mezco ones are all cloth figures, so I've kept those. Those have nice packaging, and those are in the box, because I didn't have a place. I didn't want them to get all like they're cloth, so I didn't want them to get dusty and shit.
Yeah.
So I was gonna get these. I was gonna like clear out a place for these cases, for the cloth figures, and that's why like I have a bunch of 6 scale figures too. You know, like 12 inches.
Right.
That are cloth, so those are going in the cases. But yeah, so I actually have like a lot of Godzilla figures and not that many horror figures. I mean, not that many horror figures is relative, because like anyone who doesn't collect horror movies or anything be like, why the fuck do you have that many horror figures? You know, like what are you spending your money on, dude? Like why don't you have cologne and shoes? Like,
Right, Ben, look, I'm going to have to call it a night, my friend. I'll fucking work early in the morning.
Well, it was great catching up with you, man.
No, man. And again, look, let's not leave it for another couple of months. Whenever you're up for doing another one of these again, just let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm hopefully again we'll stay closer in touch than we have been in the last couple of months.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things after a weird instance there. So
well, the weird thing is, I remember you actually doing this before on YouTube, where you actually brought one video out and you said you were back, and then all of a sudden I didn't see you for around 7 months on YouTube.
I've never been super consistent, but I was like,
at least you're still there anyway. I suppose that's the important thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I sometimes wonder why I even make videos to begin with, or like post things on social media. It's like conceptually, just philosophically, I wonder like things like that.
Well, I've said it before. I said it before, and I'll say it again. I've said it to numerous people about yourself. But I always said that if you actually did commit to a YouTube channel, it'll probably be, in terms of collectibles, probably one of the greatest channels you will ever fucking see. I really, and I mean that. I think it could be. I just think the pieces that you have, it just needs to be seen. It does.
Well, I'll slowly make my way through it. I recorded an unboxing video last night. I don't know if I'll post that one, but I have some stuff coming. Like I also did that Terrifier one the other day. I haven't posted it yet. We'll see.
All right.
But anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks to everyone in the chat who stopped by. Hayden, if you're still around, have a good one. And thanks for stopping in. Peace out, everybody.